it. It is a little scary playing Darkseer versus Shadow Demon though, because you're gonna get purged. You're not gonna be able to Ion Shell. You're not gonna be able to Surge.
I can see. Oh, they pick Sven.
Is this the kind of carry just to match the Alchemist's farm, or?
Sven's one of the better carries against Alchemist. They can just like burst him down, even though the Alchemist is very tanky.
Alchemist doesn't have armor for the early game. That's why a lot of the Alcs who are going more this right-click build will go Radiance. If they need a BKB, they'll go BKB, then they'll go AC. And if they don't need a BKB, they'll go Radiance AC. And it's because that hero has like 6 armor at level 15.
He demolishes Chen creeps too. There's a lot of like, when he stands in the front, OG's heroes, they're not gonna wanna go on the Sven. They wanna go on the back lines, the SD Jack hero. So Sven's a very good hero to frontline, and it feels very reliable when a core is able to frontline like that.
It's also damage on the tower. You know, they're gonna be feel a little pressure under it, but with a Defenders of Darkseer, you have Cleave to kill the creeps quickly.
PSG.LGD looking for a last pick for their mid lane. Won't be seeing any kind of a Kunkka, as that's the last ban for OG.
It's a comfort hero for maybe, I think. It tanks them up. It stops this like initiation from OG, this tiny burst, this wall. They can kind of stop it with the boat. Also, he can't go Vessel on Kunkka. There's some of these Kunkkas that'll go this quick Vessel. They'll kind of rotate around, kill this Alchemist. You have the ability, if the Alch is mid, to just shove in the lane with Tidebringer and kind of run into his jungle and push it fast. I think we're going to see an Ember here, so that OG can't pick it.
It is PSG.LGD with first pick coming out of this stage, and it's going to be a Dragon Knight.
Oh, so they did this thing, I think yesterday or like 2 days ago, where they did DK Spectre. So the idea is like those 2 tanky front lines, OG has to choose basically which one to kill. And the other one, it just inputs a lot of damage.
Heroes that Alchemist can definitely not burst down all that quickly, even with this new physical damage build we see coming out often.
He takes towers very fast too, and OG Alchemist, if it's put mid, he's gonna go jungle. Tiny, once DK hits 6, he's gonna get chased out. So, yeah, so the fast paced is the name of the game for LGD here.
And OG last pick a Spirit Breaker of all heroes, putting the Tiny into a core role.
The Spirit Breaker and Darkseer is a classic combo. You have Search Charge, you're going to go really fast. This early game is going to be really quick from OG besides the Alchemist.
It can control Sven very well too, the Spirit Breaker.
Charge through BKB, ult through BKB. You have a lot of these BKB piercing stuns and bashes.
The question is it enough to hold LGD's aggression in the early game? Because I think they have really good tower push with Jakiro and Dragon Knight.
Well, we're going to find out some of those answers in-game, but before we do, we're going to hear from Soksha with Casey on stage.
All right, Sox, tell me about this draft. You had a rough start to the series, and LGD still banning some of your favorite heroes.
Yes. I mean, first series, we got what we wanted. We knew where they were picking, and I think we should have won this game. We have some technical issues as well, it didn't help, but we have to deal with it. For this draft, I think we are really confident again. We knew what they were doing. Now it's all about playing better than them.
Lots of respect between these two teams. You have quite the storied TI history together.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's always a pleasure to play LGD on this stage, you know, especially in winner bracket final. So yeah, let's do it.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, back to you guys.
All right, game 2 time. As we heard from Soksha, we know what they're going to be doing. Now it's just having to play better. As you see, we do have some OG fans in the building, even if everything you're going to be hearing for most of the game is going to be LGD fans. And we certainly heard them even at the end of that game 1. This time we did hear some boos. It's looking spicy.
Yeah, that was
a lot to see. Do you agree with that? Are they going to be able to get a repeat of last year? I mean, we're looking at a...
It's hard to enable. You have to farm a lot with it, and the level 1 has become so much weaker than it used to be. This hero in the lane, I think the game will end very quickly.
They made it look really good with the Ember Spear.
I think if you're PSG.LGD, you can now force a lot of aggressive vision in this jungle area, and then you can start making smoke rates into the triangle.
Yeah.
I think that's the play that you want to go for.
Because Anna, in turn, knows that, so he's going to be playing in the enemy jungle, but won't be able to do the same kind of aggressive pushes because the Radiant mid tower is still alive.
Yeah, they're not out of the woods yet. OG is in a very good position. So I think this Alk is probably the strongest hero in the game. He's about to pick up his BKB, and then you're going to have an Ion Shell surged up Alchemist that comes equipped with a BKB.
This has been OG's signature style for a full year now, is their ability to be able to use certain mechanics and synergies between heroes to buff one hero up to just a monster degree. They did it oftentimes with the damage reduction of last year with the Spectre. Now it's going to be this Alchemist Radiance, plus the Ion Shell, plus the Surge, plus the fact you've got Chen Divine Favor on your side with the Chemical Rage.
Oh, you listed so many things.
There's a lot of sick synergies for the OG side. They need to be able to get kills in order to get towers, and they're going to start by killing FY in the mid lane. Chalice is going to TP in, trying to return fire. Pops the Veil for the charge coming in, and Chalice, he needs to be careful here. They do have X-Nova who's going to be able to disrupt them. The
BKB's been used.
Up in the BKB, they have the God Strength on Ana, but he just doesn't do enough. Ana, he's a monster right now, and he is pulling down every single member of PSG.LGD to the grave, and now he's going to chase down Ame. Gets him with the unstable concoction. Ame can't get out. He's dead. The only members of PSG.LGD that can survive, the ones that made their way behind the tier 2 tower nice and early. Both X-Nova and maybe Slash Somnus realized that OG's just too big already.
You saw the Sven run in. Ame pops his God Strength. Thought he was the strongest hero in the game. Ana said, no, that is not close to true with this BKB and the Surge.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Blitz, but this looks like PSG.LGD misread the timings entirely. The first time that they fought Ana, where Ame came out of the jungle, hits a 3-man stun, they still couldn't win that fight. Now they try it again.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they thought an Echo Saber would be the game changer.
Yeah.
He's got a BKB.
Yeah.
And this is a really quick Roshan. And Chen Alk is proving to be so strong. The Divine Favor, amplifying all your regen by 12% on a hero like Alchemist.
It's absurd. Absolutely absurd. This is why this combo has not been given away in many games. 6-9, 8,000 net worth lead for OG.
I've personally seen it in the games that we've casted 3 times.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, all 3 times the Alk Chen combo won.
That's an aha stat for you right there.
I'm sure Alan could tell me better.
Chalice, he's trying to deal with that regeneration factor. He does have a Spirit Vessel, but Blitz, in order to use Spirit Vessel effectively, first you have to get kills. And PSG.LGD, they haven't found one in a while. They've been struggling to get charges for Chalice.
Even if he has it though, I don't know how much that makes a difference. If he opens it up in the fight, the BKB's popped by the Alk, he just runs in anyways, doesn't really seem to care very much.
Yeah, it would have to be in some sort of chain stunning opportunity.
Yeah, what they really need is this DK to deal damage. Maybe his build is so greedy, going for the Hand of Midas when your Sven already has one. He has no way to initiate fights, he can't get to the back line. He doesn't really deal enough damage, so they can just ignore him. You know, he hits for 103 like a wet noodle, like Grant would say. Breathe Fire is pretty good, but they have so much regen that it all gets negated by the Chen. Maybe he just needs to farm.
Add in another 50 damage for Ana's Alchemist, and now he's going to be even more affected, bringing down towers, but they have been split up a little bit. They're going to try and go for the bottom lane. They quickly execute X-Nova. And trying to catch Somnus as well, cutting through the trees, but Jerix will make sure he cannot escape the Ice Path. Buy Somnus a little bit more time. The TP coming in from Chalice as well. Can he get there in time? There's going to be the double Ion Shell burning away Somnus. The double Bracers just isn't enough protection.
Thompson wants more. Doesn't have a toss-up for 2 more seconds. Chalice gonna give up on this top lane.
He knows he's got to be careful here because now Ana is going to come down from that high ground. And they've already used most of their TPs. They're going to be able to bring in somebody with no tail. They're going to heal up immediately. Ame's going to be able to cut his way.
The charge is coming across the map.
Actually fine. Thompson has Blink Dagger up in a second. Can they actually chase down Ame, or is it going to be X-Nova, whose life is going to be forfeit instead? In fact, Jerix is probably going to die here as he's charged in a bit too deep. The Avalanche, Unstable Concoction, they don't go for the Sport. They go for the Chorus. They're still trying to finish up Ame here with the BKB activated by Ana. No tail going down underneath the Sandstorm, but it's
climbing tier 3s.
Die. Ana doesn't care about tier 3s. He doesn't care about the tier 4s even. He's willing to die. But the TP coming in from maybe Somnus. He's going to try and get the kill onto Thompson. He is taking out bit by bit. He has the Spirit Vessel, but he is actually going to live. The Spirit Poison is going to be enough. It seems now Chalice. Run down by Ana. Ana is very low, but he still has that Aegis. So Somnus, he commits heavily to be able to finish him up, but now he's stuck. Now he's trapped. He's actually stuck. It's blocking him in, and now he's going to get
no.
Somnus thought he could get out again, but Thompson will deliver the finishing blow with Alpha Set for the triple kill.
He walks in, his own illusion fights against him.
PSG.LGD, there is no other way to say it. They
are
read this
crumbling.
game wrong.
Yeah, they completely misread their strength. They misjudged. The fact that OG can dive into tier 3s at 18 minutes into the game. The knockback from Jerax, who continues to be unafraid, slowly charging forward. And they're just going to die for it.
He is going to wear out, but Ana is going to be able to get the counter kill onto the Shadow Demon. But now Ana is heavily extended himself, and he does have that BKB, but if he's chain stunned to so much magic damage, he may actually fall here in the Temple Rage. Plus the BKB, where's the physical damage?
He's going to get surged out.
Good enough, he's surging away, now he's going to turn. He's going to re-engage. He's going to turn. What a madman. He turns around and kills Challenge. Ame, they were all stunned up underneath the ice path. Another round of the Storm Hammer. Chemical Rage has worn out, but it's surged away once again.
Maybe is back, but still the lack of farm. You haven't felt this Dragon Knight's impact at all. He does have more CS by like 30 on this Tiny, but you're feeling Thompson's presence in the game. 5-0 and 8. Conversely, maybe with possibly the worst showing of the tournament that he's had, 0-3 and 0.
Yeah.
I have not noticed this DK in this game.
This is not the superstar that PSG.LGD has built this squad around this performance by him. And you know, it's not just on him, right? It's got to be his team as a whole misreading how they were going to be able to play out this game, how they were going to be able to shut down the Alchemist.
Both sides vying for
They
control
want to be
here.
able to fight for the bounty runes. Thompson, ready to go. He's going to wait out the ice path, and he can blink forward, toss back on Somnus, or he can look for more. And he's going to look for more, and sure, he's going to grab Jared.
Finds both of them, and then double charge.
Into the charge, into the vacuum with the wall. What a sick combo from OG is now they look to be able to run down even more heroes. X-Nova, Unstable Concoction will actually stun himself, but X-Nova's just playing a game to ring around the rosy. But it has a deadly finish for X-Nova. It's now 9-20. OG marching high ground in 20 minutes again.
They have to deal with Chalice, who sits in the Sandstorm, is going to back out the charge. Probably not going to complete it.
Okay, takes a few shots from the fountain, no big deal. Dances it off.
And they're going to take Rax 20 minutes in. LGD cannot contest him at this point. Ame has finally realized what the situation is, and it is dire. He's going to try to get his BKB just so he can fight, but it's really the damage that they lack right now.
Where's that damage going to come in? They finally finish at the BKB, but I'm not sure if that's much of a game changer for PSG.LGD. Even if Somnus had his, that's not going to give you the damage you just blatantly need against this Alchemist, who now has an AC and is soon going to have a heart.
Oh, he's got a heart. I thought he just completed the AC. Yeah, it's 20 minutes in.
22,000 net worth, 17,000 lead for OG. And you can make as many arguments you want about an Alchemist and how he's supposed to be ahead, but no way he's supposed to be this far ahead.
Yeah, 17K. Normally when we say that, we mean like 5, 6. That's okay. 17, you are behind.
Chain stun. They're going to be able to get 2 different stuns, but Somnus holds on to his as Thompson makes his entrance to vacuum back. He's going to be another death. Double damage from Thompson, and Ana dealing so much damage as well. Tier 2 to fall, and a Tier 3 surely to follow as PSG.LGD, they just lack the strength to be able to deal with this any longer. Thompson's going to be able to get his entrance into X-Nova. Follow up on it, Chalice, as Jerax managed to get the Nether Strike onto him. Chalice burrow strikes away.
And they're just going to call it.
GG.
Sven picked up his BKB, not even going to bother at this point. He understands how this game has been done in.
I mean, Ana couldn't have said it better, right? With his chat wheel as they
look at that. Seven, the disrespect.
I'm sorry, crowd. Where are you at?
Excuse me?
Where are you at? I don't hear you. Oh.
It almost feels like the crowd's giving them a little bit extra motivation.
Oh, yeah.
You see No-Tail, he says, I want all the smoke.
Oh, gee. Don't give them a reason to play against you like that. They already showed it once. Not once, but twice against EG. When they've got some vendettas on the line, OG shows up to play, and boy, did they in this game 2. Absolutely perfect, as OD and Ana said in that game. What a victory for OG. 1-1 now.
Yeah, you notice no booze this time. The crowd knows. They're like, oh no.
Hey,
we
you gotta
poked
give
him.
it up. You gotta give it up to good performance. You can't poke the bear any longer. OG tie the series.
we keep talking about the crowd strats. Definitely do think it's important, but I also think one of the really important things is going to be coming prepared with your own strats. And I think no matter how many pieces of paper you bring out, I think a lot of them are going to have ALK written all over them, Lacoste.
Yeah, let me just check my notes real quickly. Yeah, that's it. Ban ALK.
Oh.
It's a good one. It's really hard to play against Alchemist when you give him a free farm at the start. He had a 10-minute Radiance. They didn't address his farm. Also, Dragonite on the mid lane is going for Hand of Midas. It's a good build if you can sustain. But with this kind of alignment, Spirit Breaker, ALK, and Darkseer, they're going to run it. And this is the one of the better combos that I've seen besides the Tiny and the Faceless Void. You give Iron Shell to the Radiance carrier, to ALK plus the speed. He just runs in. Once he gets that BKB as well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I have that on my notes as well. I just ban ALK. I think that this has been something that's definitely a theme, Grant, throughout the tournament.
Yeah. It's ALK, and the thing was, it wasn't even a first phase Alchemist. They had plenty of times to ban it. It was their third pick. We saw the Chen. I was really surprised. When you first picked Chen, I was like, oh, ALK's just going to get banned in the second phase.
Yeah.
And you let it through, and it looked like they had a decent counter because they did okay in the other lanes. Obviously, the ALK was free farming, but I mean, the Sand King was free farming too. Obviously, ALK accelerates more, but eventually, you're just going to get run over. It's a Spirit Breaker freaking Darkseer.
And it felt like it got to a point too where that one fight in the river, where the Shao Demon wasn't level 6. I thought they had that fight. And then I look at X-No, I'm like, oh, he doesn't have Purge. And so without that Purge, the Iron Shell's coming. He got out of the Ice Path with the ulti there from the Alchemist right after, and he just ran them down. I think that's like such a crucial fight. It's hard to like bring a whole game down to such a moment like that, but that's one of those times you just really need to cut that momentum.
Exactly, and the Alchemist lineup will punish you with those small mistakes. It's so easy to snowball with it. Like, you have a tower hitter on top of it. You have a Chen who amplifies the heal, even with his ulti. And Chalice was trying to get a Spirit Vessel, but even if you get a Spirit Vessel, he's still gonna have a BKB plus 1/2 more items at the time.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the Alchemists, right? It's always like these Sven, these Alks, and these life stores, mobility, and you just have a surge behind you 24/7. It's crazy. You can always get in and out of fights whenever you want.
And I do want to kind of go back to that first game, right? In the first game, we say that it's a very skirmish style of Dota. When we get to the second game, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah, it was just in your face. Like we said, OG's the team that lost. They're the teams who has to swap it up, and they definitely did. They were just, from 10 minutes onward, they were always chasing down a hero. They were never just farming.
And we had cooldowns as an issue last game, right? We have like Faceless Void, we have Tide Hunter. This game, just nothing. Now, the only cooldown you have to worry about is like Alchemist Ultimate. Charge.
Oh, no, 10 seconds, hurry.
Now, when we look forward to the third game, I do kind of want to, for anybody tuning in right now, to see the winners final, to get a look at who that first team in the grand final is going to be. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Also, I do kind of want to say right now, like, what is the style of these teams for anyone who maybe didn't even watch last year, because this is a rematch from the same point last year. What makes these teams so strong?
I guess I would just kind of go back to this idea of like OG's built around. It feels like breaking the game. Like they like to do damage resistance stacking. They like to introduce new heroes as cores that weren't supposed to be cores, or sometimes new heroes as supports that maybe weren't supports. Yeah, they're trying to pick something that you're not ready for and to try and catch you off guard with it. Whereas LGD, no mystery, right? I feel like they're just extremely good. They're clinical. They're calculated. They're playing very good Dota. So you have this battle of like, are you going to get caught by surprise, or are LGD just going to play their game and take it?
Secret didn't look that convincing at the winner's bracket and the part of the loser's bracket as well, but they kind of copied what OG is doing. Like, they took the carry IO and they managed to throw out the Ouija gaming in a series 2-0, 2 20, 25-minute games, and it feels like this is the style that you need to play. Like, if enemy team picks more late-game oriented heroes, you just punish it or play around the big ulti cooldowns, which right now OG didn't have any, so they just run at you.
Yeah, eventually you start to see that some of these things that, yes, they may catch you off guard, they might be a surprise, but when it's actually iterated upon, Grant, it's something that is strong as well, and we might even see become pages that are added into the textbook. I think the IO was something that surprised everybody pretty much instantly, and now people are actually talking about whether or not it should be banned and in what scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it right here on page 7,091, and this Wisp, I'm surprised it's not seeing more play, but I think it's going to keep out permanently banned from this. You can't let OG have it ever. I think it's always going to be IO Mag banned versus OG every single game, grand finals, losers bracket. Now, they're never getting those two heroes.
Yeah, it is very interesting, though, like you said, to see the team start to adapt to that very quickly, but we have that fire and ice situation. We have a team that we expect to play that textbook Dota, and the other team that's going to throw all the pages up in the air and make their own book. And if that book was something that worked the last time,
go, and hopefully you still have something left. But if you've made it this far in TI and you still have a strategy kind of left out there that you really believe in,
this is it.
You're like unbelievable at Dota if you've managed to get this far without pulling out said trick. So
What if you don't even get your best strat out?
And
you
that
win
would be
a TI?
impressive.
Like, we had so many strats prepared, I didn't want to even use them.
maybe Liquid, right? They had the 3-0 in the final. They're probably like the only one where you can be like, okay, yeah, maybe they did have something else left there just
you
in
gotta
case.
pull it out eventually. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? So I definitely do think that that's something that you have to think about. But at this point, we think most of the cats are out of the bag. The thing is that we can actually use to look a little bit deeper is to actually see what the teams had to say before TI even started. Dove had a chance to sit down with LGD.
那去年的 DPC 排行榜，老干爹是排在了第6。你们对于去年一整年自己的发挥和这个成绩还满意吗？
就我个人而言的话，对自己一整年的发挥都不满意吧。然后整个队伍的状态，就是可能因为一些之前的影响，就肯定是整体来说都不太好嘛。
感觉每个比赛都没有发挥好吧，打得不是很好。今年一整年都就一般吧打的。
那其实感觉这一整年很多选手都有比较大的进步。那你们是否觉得在 TI8之后，心态上面有没有一些什么进步？
心态肯定进步的呀。
这一整年其实挺难熬的，对吧？那有没有一些比较开心的瞬间？
要说的话，应该是 VG 夺冠的瞬间吧。我们是 VG 老粉，
我是 V 坤，
是 VG 夺冠，我们很开心。
替 VG 开心。虽然去年一整年都很难熬，最难熬的时候是什么时候？
有一段时间 maybe 就逃了，回去结婚了，我们非常难熬。
就是在队伍人员不整齐的时候，就会觉得稍微有点难熬一点。但其实那个 Major 你们打的成绩还可以的。
是这样的，但当时就感觉还蛮有希望夺冠的。
查理斯一直在点头，你怎么看那段时间？
那罪魁祸首就是我，别说了。
主动背锅是不是？那问一下，去年有哪个人的哪句话让你至今还记得？
就是开始选人了，搬完了，准备1、2手选人了，他突然问了一句 ：“FY， 这把炸不炸？”就转头站，这把炸不炸？FY 就。
他问，那其实老干爹虽然说拿了第6名，但是前面的5支队伍都是很强的队伍。你们是否还觉得自己依然是一支很强的队伍
？VG 最强嘛 ，VG 跟那个秘密独一档，我们就靠后。
我们在采访 VG 的时候，他们说跟老干爹打训练赛河道都过不去。
乱说的，我们
一看就是造谣。
就我们一过河道就被他们5个人冲出来乱杀，我们就是训练被他们打个什么10比0这种很正常。
就我们的训练就是被 LGK 操盘，就是都在他掌控下，他想让我们输就让我们输，想让我们赢就让我们赢。就我们出发前 LGK 都特意来说了一句：“你们要谢谢我抬了你们一手，就没把你们打得很惨。”
事实上就是我们根本没怎么赢过他们，
真的很恐怖。
现在看到他们，我们都在发抖。
那再次来到 TI， 2个人是抱着什么样的心态过来的？
肯定是抱着一点积极一点的心态嘛，就不能说想着什么复仇这种，就是你要复仇，你要向谁复仇嘛？还只能向 OG 啊。但是 OG 呢，怎么说呢
？OG 当然也很强
对 ，OG 当然也很强。反正就不能抱着这种心态，肯定要抱着一点正面一点的心态，就抱着这种负面的心态打比赛不太好。
我们在来之前看过一段 FY 的采访，他说他自己的心理预期是，只要不拿第2名、第1名，其他任何几名都可以。你们怎么去看待？你的心理预期是什么？
没有什么预期吧，因为你有些队伍训练不到， 然后你对那几个队伍评估也不太确定。认真来说的话，你也预期不了，但肯定就是越往上越好嘛，就排名越靠前越好，肯定是想着去往冠军那边靠嘛。
那这次 TI 在中国不同于以往，除了好好打比赛，你们有没有一定要做的事情？
没有吧，打 TI 肯定就专心一点吧。
好，那我们也希望老干爹能够打好自己的，好吗？谢谢。
谢谢。
Even before TI started, there was only one team that they were thinking about. It's OG. It's very fitting that we managed to make it all the way to this third game. I think that that's one of the things that, you know, Lacoste even said when we were on the last panel. You were like, I just want to see this go all the way to the third game. Now we're here. What do you want to see?
I want to see game not ending so quickly. I'm a big fan of the late game. I want to see those Aghanim Scepter coming out, Moon Shards, you know. Late game Dota is pretty chaotic. So in the game yesterday where Tiny uses toss back to toss them onto the spark rates, or 2 days before.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep much, so my schedule is kind of confusing.
It's the excitement. It's that you never know what's going to happen of late game Dota. It's where the ultimate stress hits, right? When you're snowballing a game sometimes, those are the easiest games to just be kind of laughing away.
Yep.
You're like, oh, got him again. And you're like, oh, they can't kill me, guys. I'm just in between the tier 3 and the tier 2. Like, that happens a lot. But when it gets a late game, it's really hard, I think, to keep those smiles up, which is something that obviously OG have done so well in the past. But you get this point where it's just like, okay, all right, we got Chrono up, yeah. Everyone, it gets quieter, I feel like. So I want to see that too.
I think I just don't know if these teams will do. I think we could make it to the late game, but I don't think we're going to see like this chaos late game, right? I think the teams are too good.
Nah, I want to see the chaos.
I mean, I want to, but I don't
Guys,
think
they went out first.
Yeah.
So
the decision making when the game gets kind of confusing, even for the pro players, like what is happening? This 3 volley from Tiny on a 12-second cooldown. How do you counter that? Like you get Quelling Blades, cut down all the trees.
So that's why you want late game. You're trying to figure out how to deal with a Tiny Aghanim Scepter. That's a good question because no one knows the answer. That's another great reason to see. Okay, cut down the trees.
No, you just
we're trying, buddy.
Get the cooldown to 60 seconds.
So I
even
do
nerf it.
Okay.
Okay. There we go, Lacoste. I do want to say, kind of, when we look at the past matchups as well, are there any pressure points? We talked about definitely wanting to look at our 4s when we actually go to head-to-head matchups where we could potentially see some of the most impactful play come out on the individual level. But Grant, do you think that there's any player right now that you want to see step up?
I think Chalice, honestly. I think that they're just banning his Ogre first phase every time, and he's got to prove that it's not just like this Ogre Centaur, right? We saw Sand King, which played pretty well. You know, he was stealing a lot of creeps. He was using a lot of mana to steal creeps as well from the Alchemist, which hurt him, and I think he is their big playmaker, right? He went Veil, Spirit Vessel, Sand King, and then he didn't even have charges on it. Like, it just felt like he needs to be way more impactful on the map.
Okay, we're going to keep that in our mind as our teams take this stage. Right now, the crowd favorite coming out, and you can definitely hear the crowd's going to be giving them their energy throughout the entirety of this matchup. This third game going to decide everything in the rematch from last year. The winner of this going to be going to the grand final. Coming in with that.
Carried by their coach.
Yeah. Exactly. We will have to see what they have in store as well. We talk about just how different this game could be from the last one. I'm trying to see if we can get a glance of all of the papers actually inside of that booth right now.
What do you think it's written besides the
considering
obvious stuff?
there's some little, there's the papers right there. That was it. Those are the real papers.
They finally
Mind games confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, just drafts, right? I think most teams just got drafts. Like if they draft this, I know when I talk to a few coaches, it's literally, you know, we have these papers, and it's if they draft this, they ban this, we'll pick this, they'll pick that kind of thing. It's just a bunch. You just go down a checklist almost.
It's like a tree. It's like a decision tree, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're just kind of answering different things when they happen, so you don't get caught up in the moment when you're up on the main stage surrounded by tens of thousands of people.
You don't want to just have this last pick, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, what is good? What do we pick? You always want to have at least something in the back of your mind.
We're very fortunate with all the resources we have too, right? I mean, we just have scrapbooks of drafts. It's so easy to just like open up a web page and they're just all there.
Anyone at home.
You see the teams using the same tools that we use, right? Yep. Like they're just printing off pages.
They read it better. Like they know what they're looking for. And by the way, Nahaz told me it was the 4th fastest ever timing on the Radiance.
Ever,
yes.
that helps.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was a fast, but not that
I mean,
fast.
that's not podium level. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I mean,
it was interesting because I thought I was watching the game and I'm just like, the Sand King's actually stealing a lot of his neutrals. He's Sandstorm, like he's getting a ton of gold, and then Alex still just going super far. He could have had an even quicker one because I thought the Sand King did okay in the first 5 minutes.
Not even in top 3, huh?
Yeah.
So we're setting some records here already when we're looking at that. We've set a lot of records at this TI. We really have. We see the highest placement of an entire region, and now we look at this matchup, and already there's a 75% chance. Nahaz is probably going to yell at me for this, but Wick tweeted it out this way, so I might get out of Dodge. A 75% chance that we see a two-time champ. I know that's a see Nahaz shaking his head.
That's how math works. I'm pretty sure it's fine.
Shaking his head right now.
Every match is just a coin flip, so it's, it's okay.
Yeah, right. I think even if that was the case, that would still be incorrect, right? Yeah, Nahaz is actually, I've never seen Nahaz smile. That dude loves numbers. He absolutely loves his stats. He's sitting there like a jolly guy just laughing at my numbers. But ultimately, we are in a position where we still do have so many potential two-time champions this time around. And when we look at the side of OG, obviously, how crazy would it be if not only we have the first time that somebody's been able to win not one but two TIs, be a back-to-back champion? Well, let's see if they are going to be able to make that giant leap. Will they be able to get the best seats in the house? Will they be able to go straight to the grand final?
PSG.LGD versus OG. Game 3.
Game 3, the magic number when you're playing on the TI main stage, at least for us, the viewers. Maybe the teams would prefer 2-0, but luckily they don't get what they want.
But we do.
Yeah.
So here, game 3, OG got picked first pick. They won the coin toss, and LGD picked Dire.
I think whoever has first pick has a huge advantage this TI.
You say that so far in this series, first pick has lost both games. Why do you think first pick has the big edge here?
Especially for OG, because there's like I said, there's so many heroes that if you just pick it has a huge edge. Enchantress, Io, or not Io, but like Io for OG, I guess. Io, Chen. I think they forgot about the Chen at LGD, but like Magnus is pretty high up on OG's priority too.
Yeah.
So OG has a lot of these like first pick heroes that LGD don't want to give, but LGD don't have like these a lot of first pick heroes.
I think the LGD draft was actually really good against the whole OG draft. I thought LGD outdrafted them, besides one factor, which was the Chen Alchemist. I think that was the one trump card for OG. If the Alch got banned and even they picked up the Spectre second phase, I don't think this Chen Spectre is as strong as this Chen Alch.
Yeah.
I think the game would have went a lot different.
Because those first bans, you're normally thinking about what you're giving up, and it does feel like maybe they forgot about the Alchemist, particularly the synergy with the Chen in that second ban phase when they're banning Spectre and Void.
Right now, I think they're deciding whether they should ban Magnus or Chen, and they just stick with the Magnus.
They're probably also thinking Alchemist, because OG banned AA in the first stage this game. So last game, it was second stage. They banned the AA to protect an Alchemist, and guess what? OG's first pick Chen, Alch is still in the pool.
I think LGD has to take Alch here.
Or ET. They might pick ET.
Or both.
Yeah, what are the heroes you're picking to deal with an Alchemist in the first stage if you're expecting that second pick?
I don't think you can. The Alch Chen is so strong. I don't even know if I've seen it lose this whole tournament. Like the two, maybe they've lost one match together, but every match I've seen, it's a stomp. The 20% more healing works so with his ult. His creeps can protect your jungle. You kind of go back and forth. There's all these they make up for each other's weaknesses. You know, they're like one of the best duos in the game. I think you can pick.
Well, they do get the ET you suggested, Febby. The most picked hero of the tournament so far.
Yeah, second most played by LGD actually with a 86% win rate. Mini Nahaz here.
Statsman Febby.
Yeah.
I think they have to take the Alch here. I think unless they have a set idea of how to beat this Alchemist, it was too strong last game. I think even if you kind of contest him in the early game, he's going to get a Radiance, and they give up the Alchemist.
They have a different idea. It's the Tiny who OG had last game as well. I mean, as far as heroes that have looked the best of the best, I feel like Tiny is in that category as well.
Yeah, it's just so versatile. It can play as support, but nowadays we see it more on core with the tree volley. Just coupled with some AoE stuns, This 3 volley can do a lot of damage late game.
Yeah.
The scary thing about this Alchemist is most Alks are going at least 1 bracer, if not 2, which means that he's not going to die to this tiny combo in the early game if it's a core tiny. Maybe with the ET aura, the magic.
Yeah.
But even then, I think it's kind of pushing it.
We could see some of those combos around ET, like the ET gyrocopter, where you run people down with the magic damage. Of course, OG now have 2 bans to protect themselves from some of the heroes they're worried about.
Probably they're going to ban the Void.
Yeah, that's the other hero.
And the Gyro. I think those are probably the top 2 priorities for OG.
Ember's pretty up there too, I think, for LGD.
Lifestealer is okay. As we said, like last game, it's good against the creeps. You can eat the creeps. It's decent against Alchemist, I think.
It does not abuse the ET aura though. I think like you gotta ban those heroes that abuse the ET aura. I can see them picking up Jakiro too, but it's not worth banning for OG. But
he's a Radiant Spire. And that's ET aura, magic, and physical. I think the one scary thing about the, or like not scary thing about the Lifestealer though, is like he doesn't do enough damage until later in the game for this Alchemist, like, you know, post 30, 35 minutes. And before then, this Alk Chen I think is going to run them over. Like we saw last game, this Alk had such a fast Radiance, and the game just feels over like 15 or 20 minutes, right? There's that one Roche fight, or the River fight, Shadow Demon's level 5, the Alk gets like 3 kills, Sven tries to hit creeps, but now this Alk's like double his net worth, and the game feels really over.
Yeah.
And Lifestealer's gonna be in the same position, right? Like sure, like him, like the Sven can scale against this Alk. You know, 3-4 items, maybe 5, they're gonna be evenly matched, but this Alk's gonna have 3 items on you, and at that point,
well, yeah, how do you beat it? And the Chen synergy with the Alchemist is not just the amplified healing. It's you've got this hero in the jungle that's stacking for the Alchemist, can stack with his hero, can stack with his creeps. Something OG are very efficient about getting Ana as much farm as possible when he's playing Alchemist.
one of the issues with like this multi-thing stacking is you can only micro so much, right? So it's like you can kind of try to get like 2-3 camps as well, but it's kind of hard. So I think what a lot of teams can do is they give away the Chen creeps to their other players. So he can give like 2 creeps to this Alk, and the Alk can also stack 2 other camps, you know?
Yep.
And they're just maximizing their efficiency.
It's the gyro ban, so PSG.LGD do have Faceless Void open to them if they want to go for it. Name has played a decent number of games on the Void. He is comfortable on the hero.
yeah, it's one of Ame's favorite heroes.
They also, LGD banned the Darkseer. It worked. It was so good with the Alk last game. He's just getting Surge early game. He's already fast from ult. He's already a fast hero. He has phase boots, and he has a Surge. He's running, you know, like 600 movement speed, 700 movement speed.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny because like 2 days ago, Darkseer was untouched, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't picked at all. Now, OG's just bringing it back.
He was one of, I think, the last 5 or 6 heroes unpicked or unbanned, unpicked at least in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and then he got picked by Secret, maybe?
Secret or Liquid?
Liquid.
Liquid.
It was Liquid with mind control.
Yeah. I think it's coming back a little more because teams are, I think, valuing Ember a little more than they were the past couple days. Alchemist is also getting up there, and Tiny. And Darkseer with those 3 melee heroes in particular are really good for the 15 to 25 minute mark. Ember, for obvious reasons, his ult's faster. His Flame Guard just becomes a better Flame Guard with the Iron Shell. Alk for what we said, and Tiny just because he gets you in position. And that's all Tiny needs. He needs to get in position for these toss avalanche combos and dealing a lot of damage.
Shadow Demon is picked up by PSG.LGD, giving them SD ET support duo. One of them will be FYs. Do you think that's more likely to be the Shadow Demon getting the
probably
farm
the
here?
Shadow Demon.
Also a block pick. If they wanted the Void, you want to take that SD away from OG, I feel, because that's the save that teams often want to be picking and playing against a Faceless Void.
It's also good against the Alk if you're really far behind, because if you make illusions of him and he has a Radiance AC, you'll get both the ores on your own team.
Well, the trick we've been seeing is you can turn the Radiance off while you're disrupted.
You can't turn off AC.
Oh, true.
You could
Yeah, they can turn off the Radiance.
backpack it, but there's also like
Yeah. But as far as the Radiance goes, I feel like the SD, we're seeing all these Alks now just, you know, you can spam it and turn it off inside the disruption.
Tida turn made it to the second phase.
Ooh, it's a really good Morphling game for LGD, I think.
Yeah, I saw Morphling. It's okay. I think there might be a little too much pressure in the mid game for Morph, but it lanes really well against the Tide. But I think they're just gonna give Ame last pick.
They needed the magical damage, so they opt for the Sand King, even though they lost with it last game.
Get the fast Veil, you've got magic damage coming out from Shadow Demon. It's synergy with the ET aura.
Yeah, there is a lot of damage for LGD.
Yeah.
I guess they were happy about how their first like 5 minutes in the offlane went with the Alk pressure. But as we saw, that didn't really slow his radiance timing down significantly. He got the 4th highest, right?
Yep.
So I guess, you know, they're feeling confident. They're like rerunning what they did last game. They're probably saying, you know, maybe our mid pick or our carry pick was a little off. Maybe we gave them too much. So maybe now they're kind of thinking, what we did with our other 3 heroes is fine.
Yeah,
but we
their
got to
mid
change
pick
up.
has changed. It's gone from a DK to a Tiny who is kind of faster paced. It's at least a hero that can get in the Alk's jungle and steal stacks, I feel. DK doesn't really farm enemy jungle stacks or stacks at all.
Not until he's even level 12, right? Now at that point, it's too late.
So someone that can go in, threaten to kill Alchemist, take those stacks, and OG now going to be wondering about what they're going to get.
Probably going to pick a Thompson hero right now, unless he has multiple options. Usually on this this pick right here for first pick, you want to pick the hero that you think is more important to your draft. So in this case, they picked the Rubik. And that's because they're probably going through like, yo, Jerax, do you have options? And he goes, nah, it's really, Rubik's the best. Everything else is a tier below. And they go to Thompson and they say, and he gives like, oh, both of these heroes are good, right? Because now they have the choice between 2 heroes and only one will get banned and the other will be good no matter what. And only this one a Rubik. So OG is going to pick up the Rubik. It's really good against Sand That's one of like the classic support counters to it.
And Thompson definitely a player who has quite a big hero pool as far as unconventional mids go. So
yeah, Dazzle ban. I think they're scared of the mid Dazzle.
Yeah, it's the second game of this 3-game series we've seen the Dazzle ban. So clearly something
that's interesting.
They believe OG can do. Maybe they've seen it in scrims.
Yeah, maybe I think it should be the scrims. OG played a mid Dazzle and it was pretty scary, stalling out the game for the Alchemist.
It's also got synergy with the Chen. You get more healing on your team. If you ever grave the Auk, he's going to heal back up to half health by the time it's over.
It's a lot of minus armor too. Acid, Gush, Dazzle. A lot of marines.
Void ban, they're still scared of that.
And that's the carry we expected to see in response to OG's draft with the Tiny Tree Volley as well as the Elder Titan Earth Splitter synergy. It would have been a great option for them as their last pick.
It's also one of the good people have figured out counters to Tide. That's why we see it a little less, I think, now. Because he can't, you know, break off the Chrono, right? If he gets stunned by a Chrono, he's getting stunned full duration of Chrono. It's not going to end after 500 damage like every other spell.
So the most optical Thompson hero right now would be some brawler frontline that can fight with the Tide and the Rubik and the Chen, has damage and has deep push. He needs like all those 3 options.
Try to have all those options?
I think so, right? Brawler, deep push with the Q, overwhelming odds, and like, what else did I say?
Fight with Tide.
Yeah, fight with.
Yeah.
Good minus armor.
It's kind of a cool pick too. It's another hero that benefits from the Chen amplified healing. It gives them a save, something that, you know, we saw PSG.LGD pick Shadow Demon to take away from OG potentially. So having a save in a second save with the Chen heals as well gives them a lot of ways to keep this Alk alive.
Also, this OG timing push at 20-25 minutes. He walks up high ground and he's just going to get 100 attack speed.
Last pick, Slark. Ame Slark. He brought this one back into the meta if you go back to Epicenter, and this is a pick against a lot of melee cores. This is Theorycraft is one of the better cores to run against Alchemist. You guys like the last pick, Slark?
I think if they put it mid, I think it's pretty good. It lanes well against the Legion Commander. It's one of the few heroes that can kind of trade with it. And I think if they do that, Ame is going to get off to a start. He's probably going to be able to carry the game.
I think, yeah, in the late game, it's going to out-carry the Alchemist. So, but the question, of course, every time is if they can get to the late game.
Well, we're going to have to find out if they can hold, because Alchemist with Chen hits that scary timing. We've seen OG. They just ran over them in that game too. Do you think they're going to get to the late game?
There's a lot of hero from OG. The LCW, what is it called?
The press the attack.
Press the attack here, the Chen Aura, Alchemist ulti here. There's a lot of here.
All right. Well, we've got Casey on stage to hear some final thoughts from one of the coaches before we get into our Game 3 decider.
That's right. We're asking 357, and Josh is going to help us translate. A lot of us were surprised that you didn't choose to ban the Alchemist after it was such a huge part of OG's win. Can you give us a little bit of insight to that?
就是这一把看到你们还是把炼金放了出来，然后第二把其实炼金发挥了很大的作用，那就是请问你对这个是什么想法？
我们觉得第一把就是在炼金的处理上，策略有点失误，然后没搞好，让它太肥了。然后这把我们就是放它进，还是就是按我们的既定策略去打。
So in game 2, we kind of just, our tactics didn't work out. We kind of made a mistake in that sense. We let Alchemist get too fat. This game, we let him through anyway, but we're gonna try and improve on the tactics with regards to Alchemist.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Back to you guys.
And sure enough, we go the full series. Game 3 between OG and LGD with a twist. Everybody expected the Alchemist to be taken out of the pool, and I'm not sure if anybody expected a Thompson Tidehunter? It seems like OG's bringing something different that we haven't seen yet, Blitz.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is essentially just give a hero that can frontline, run in for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You're a space maker and a playmaker at the same time. I think it's just good overall. I think the idea, too, behind the LC is similar to what they had with the Darkseer. Just a hero to buff up the Alp. You know where your bread is buttered.
Yeah. And as they were talking about, the press the attack is going to be a form of heal as well, that is going to be amped up by the Chen.
Yeah, I will say I think the Slark is a much better core than the Sven to deal with this. The idea that LGD had was, we need a hero to deal with the creeps. No, you need a hero to deal with the Alchemist.
And I feel like Tiny is like the biggest and best change to LGD's lineup to deal with this Alchemist. Seems like DK was too slow, especially when it came to taking that mid tower. The fight over the bounties begins in OG.
I want to know how many games Ame, or maybe has been completely blanked out. Involved in no kills at all.
Oh, look at that. X-Nova made that read perfectly. They were planning that Enon was going to take the other bounty rune. He was going to be teleported down to bottom. And now he's going to have to use his TP scroll, and PSG.LGD managed to get 3 of the 4.
Nice hard read as Chalice going to block up the creep wave. I think my favorite change to this is making FY play the Shadow Demon instead of a hero like Jakiro. I just don't love Jakiro as a 4 position. I feel like it's very limited what you can do with that hero. FY is your Ferrari. Let him roar.
Oh, this guy has no chill.
And you've got a lot of play potential, and you want this Shadow Demon to be strong against an Alchemist, right? Like, part of the way of dealing with Alchemist is heavy burst damage, and Soul Catcher gives any sort of burst damage you have, it makes it look that much better. A tiny combo plus the Soul Catcher, I'm not sure what hero doesn't die with that.
Yeah, plus the Earth Splitter, of course. Percentage-based things being very nice against the Alchemist. But who knows? Maybe it's just going to be a little bit too strong for them, as last game was so one-sided. I personally think that the combo is way too good, and PSG.LGD, they're banking on the fact that they knew it was coming and they had an answer for it.
They did say in that interview with 357 that they were going to be pressuring the Alchemist a lot more. We see that already with FY just getting stack after stack. X-Nova doing what No Tail was trying to do so well in game 1 with this Elder Titan, and just push back the other 2 opposing members of this dual lane and give Ame the space he needs.
Yeah, but he's already so low. He's got to be careful for the time being. Seb, once again, having pretty good lane. He's going to fight up against Ame. Doesn't seem to care too much. But now that X-Nova's here, he's got to be a little bit more cautious.
It is a pretty cool idea, right? Is that like Tidehunter and the Alchemist are very well countered by the Slark. It's just a terrible lane for a Tidehunter. So being able to get the hard counter of Legion Commander against that Slark instead, and swapping Thompson over the mid lane.
Do you feel like it's a hard counter?
I think Legion Commander against Slark, I think it's relatively okay.
I think when there's a save, it's really hard. Top lane, X-Nova getting quite low. The dupe from Seb. Right click from Jerax. We'll finish this off as Ame has to back out, reset himself, leaps away over the tree line. First blood going to OG.
It's a good start. That aggro dual lane. Our mid lane, 12-2 for Thompson. Is Somnus struggling a little bit with CS, but a wave is pushing into him. And he also has an Arcane Rune in his bottle. The lane pushing out into the favor of the Shadow Demon and Sand King, which means there's going to be some neutral lane shenanigans. We'll see how FY tries to deal with this, but a top lane, the Stomp goes out, does manage to hit at least the Rubik. Jerax is going to be quite low. Can he finish him off? X-Nova gets him in the end. Seb will return fire and bring down X-Nova.
Support for support.
I almost feel bad.
Bottom lane, Sand King having a very nice time of things. NS Farm hasn't been slowed down either. Courier almost goes down. One more hit would have done it for FY.
Or Thompson's just fearless here. Maybe he's going to try and put some pressure on him. Does manage to get the toss on the
and a solo kill.
And a solo kill like that. You know, I thought Thompson knew better, but sure enough, he was way too low.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Thompson is it does feel like he dies the most out of any of the top mid laners.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care too much. In fact, I don't even know if this guy cares about deaths, farm. It just feels like he cares about getting into the enemy jungle, forcing you out, and being this frontliner for Ana. But that'll be a costly death, as maybe had such a slow start. He's already eclipsed his kill mark total from the previous game.
Seb laying down the spray when he gets pounced, while Ame in turn covers up that spray with one of his own from Vici Gaming.
Meta, you see, maybe he gave the late tip to Thompson.
Ame trying to get out of here, does have pounce range. They're trying to block him in with Seb, but he actually juked the wrong direction. Somnus with this double damage.
Completely gonna zone out this Tidehunter. Thompson does not want to be here for the time being. A creep even just running through the area just to give one more last hit to Somnus.
Stomp goes out. Seb, big nuke that's going to force the pounce away, and X-Nova may not be able to win this man fight, especially when we press the attack activated on Seb. With the level 4, it means he does have that passive to be able to bring down X-Nova. If he can get into the trees, maybe the stomp. No.
Ame's just going for the bounty runes against the Alk. This is so important. JRX is going to try to race him against these, but doesn't have lift, so he will not get here in time. Neither of them have boots, but Ame is in a much better position to pick up this rune, and it looks like PSG.LGD will get away with 3 of them.
Yeah, that is makes the best of that situation. That's all 4. It's only 240 gold being collected for the OG side off of the bounties.
And they're going to wait for this bottom lane. Nobody wants to pick it up quite yet.
Funny part is, because they have an Alchemist, OG net worth lead is even, despite that big bounty rune advantage that PSG.LGD has. Challenge is doing so well. 33-6, 31-6 for Somnus, who's now looking for the toss over onto the Tidehunter. Into the tier 1 tower. Thompson without Ravage is going to be caught by the stomp. Body blocked up a little bit by FY. They'll build up the stacks and see if he's going to be the one to claim the last hit. In fact, he will. FY. He wants these last hits. He wants the fast ether lens.
Much better start for all of PSG.LGD this time around. A less greedy lineup too. I don't know if trying to outgreed an Alchemist is ever the play, because the hero doesn't work in the same sense. He's not like a Midas builder. He's just going to get his 10-minute, 12-minute items and win the game for you.
That's why we heard our draft panel talk about how important it was to shore up your mid game, because that's where the Alchemist is going to hit hardest. Once he has that Radiance plus AC.
From the 12 to like 25-minute mark, this guy is king. Nobody will touch this out. You have to be able to ride that out if you're PSG.LGD, and that's why they took the Slark. The Slark is meant to secure the late game. Yep. He's good against all 3 cores on the side of OG, and neither of the supports do anything against him. So the way this game looks is pretty clear-cut. OG have a timing window, once again, where they're going to go down the lanes with their Legion backing up their Alk, so you can't ever get stunned up. Constant purges, the heals, the Tidehunter's going to back him up too. He's going to get a Vlad's. And for PSG.LGD, it's bend, don't break. Take fights. If you lose 1 or 2, that's fine, but you can't afford to give up all your tier 2 towers like you did.
Look at No-Tail. He's been one by one sending out his neutral creeps to be able to pull back the wave to stop this push. But finally, he's going to be caught as the Spirit does reveal where he's at, and PSG.LGD will dive with confidence now, especially since they've already brought down at least one of his neutrals. The Hellbear is still pulling some of the creeps, though.
Okay.
And this really is the principle of getting kills into objectives, right? Is that No-Tail, he understands the same thing, and he's saying, you can kill me, but if you're not taking the tower, it's fine.
It's on the run. He's pinging towards it. He's laughing about this right now.
The turn comforts of the melee creep is going to get the deny on the illusion rune while simultaneously pulling all of this into Ana. So it's not even going to return into the bottom lane. This is some next level shit from OG.
Oh my lord. I can't even believe that. He dragged the entire creep wave so that Ana gets a double wave in mid lane. He saves the bottom tower, maybe wastes his entire time, and he denies the illusion rune.
Dude,
that is the most value single creep that I've seen.
I mean, I think that was the most space-creating, defeating death I've ever seen. No Tail literally bought themselves like, he just killed like 3 minutes of pushing time.
Yeah, he, Pylai Dai is just in the back. He's like scribbling notes. He's like furiously trying to figure out what he did right there. That gave Anna so much gold, brought him much closer to his Radiance. Didn't have an amazing laning phase, but that's gonna help out a lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. But this is where PSG.LGD are going to have a change of tactics. Last time, they tried to go in for the mid push. They tried to take down that tower before and taking over the jungle, but this time, a smoke directly towards Ana. Chalice leading the way with the one level first strike.
Just found mana for ulti.
They're going to be able to get the disruption first. And the epicenter follow up. They're going to throw all the burst damage onto him all at once. Chemical Rage is not going to be good enough here, sir.
By the way, I was wondering why this ward right here that PSG.LGD placed, I was like, why didn't they block the camp with that?
Yeah.
And you realize because OG's gonna look for that ward. They know guaranteed that there is vision there, but by placing it up there and not blocking the ward, not blocking the camp, that's so intelligent.
Yeah.
It's gonna give Ana a little bit more space, but it's gonna open up kills a little bit more. They've got no idea about it.
Also, the combo, the way they set up that kill was just brilliant. It maximized the damage in a minimal amount of time, right? Leading with Disruption to get off Epicenter first rather than trying to go for Burrow Strike into Epicenter where there's this delay of damage. It really killed the effectiveness of Chemical Rage there. Now, PSG.LGD will manage to get another 3 bounties. That's 9 bounties they picked up in this game for 2,400 gold. Excuse me, that's more like 12 or something.
Yeah, that's how they've kept up in this game so far.
Oh, Jerix! No, X-Nova doesn't have a TP.
He'll be stuck here for the time being. He's got to wait for the courier.
Look at him, he's sitting on top of the Spirit and taunting him. Before he's going to TP away, but FY actually catches him. Meanwhile, top lane, Seb's going to be caught, but it's over to mid, where Jerix, you play around in the Spirit, you do a little taunting action, showing off to X-Nova, but in the end, you get caught for it.
And he loses the ward for it too. X-Nova's fine with that.
Yeah, I think he is now, for sure. How's Thompson doing in farm, by the way? He's going to be rushing double bracers into a Vlad. So those bracers are super value for Tidehunter, both because of tankiness as well as making your anchor smash more effective.
The courier's been killed too.
That is a big pickup.
But Ana talked about the pre-12-minute Radiance.
Yeah.
This time around, they've slowed down so much of his farm.
It's not even a 12-minute relic at this pace.
Last game, he had it at like 10 minutes, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Have they dewarded it yet? They still have vision of that area. Jerix is still looking. He doesn't see where it is. It was such a good ward.
It was.
It's the next level mind game. Give them the stack so that maybe it'll pay off and you'll get extra kills.
Smoke up, rotating to bottom. Seb, who's been holding on to this tower for OG, but now will pay for it with his life. The toss into the pounce from Ame with the Earth Splitter over the top. They really wanted to make sure that Legion Commander died fast, so there wasn't a chance of OG defensively rotating.
And they still haven't lost any towers on the side of PSG.LGD. No trade towards that top lane. It's still quite healthy. And this is going to create even more space for Ame. They can play into the jungle. Jerax is pinging. He thinks that they're going to smoke towards mid, which is why he preemptively places that sentry.
And a minus is almost here for Ame, plus his level 10. This will both help him farm a bit faster. Somnus trying to catch Ana here, does have the toss back into the creeps. The TP, it's a slow one from FY, so there's no chance of them actually killing this, but it does force a lot of rotation. Seb is now in the same lane as Ana, not really the way they want to play things.
No, not until he has Radiance anyways, and he's still working on it right now. And that's why PSG.LGD are going for all these aggressive maneuvers. They know that they've slowed down the timing enough. Thompson isn't really getting involved in fights either. They just want to defend this mid area while he tries to catch up and farm. This is not the typical Thompson game that we see where we see him rotate into the enemy jungle. He's been a lot more farm-centric. It feels like both mid laners have been swapped positions. Seb getting gone on at top,
They do have Jerix, though, TPing in. Telekinesis toss back onto X-Nova, and Seb, as he wakes up, he'll see this as an opportunity to get some duel damage.
It's the first duel win for him in this game. But yeah, it feels like whoever has Tiny is playing aggressively, and whoever doesn't just prioritizes the farm. Thompson, we felt his impact in the mid game so often throughout this series alone.
Looks like they don't want to give up this tower. Chalice, he's going to show himself. Chalice with the veil out. Not actually trying to get any extra damage off the epicenter, surprisingly enough. Maybe with FY here, trying to catch somebody with the disruption. Does get him. That's going to be the Chen caught. Chalice ready to go with another round of the Burrow Strike. Even if they don't kill Seb, will get a kill at the top lane. Still, though, I'm sure OG is quite happy with the space created as they took the mid tower.
Ame forcing Thompson out of the jungle right now, who just continues to plug away this farm. Maybe he's going to go for... Not sure.
The Radiance is here, you know. That OG, the last time they picked up this Radiance, they immediately barreled into PSG.LGD.
But the timing was much better last game.
Yeah.
That was almost a full 4 minutes ago that they got it. It just delays up everything. The AC timing that he got, the BKB. He has to continue to just farm up, and PSG.LGD are in a much better spot. In fact, at this point in the game, I believe they were down 3-4K.
Oh no! He still managed to get the long-range Burrow Strike onto No-Tail, but that is a maxed out Presti attack. Still not good enough to be able to save No-Tail. Now the duel onto Chalice with the Ravage out. Disruption though. Barely saves in time. They have their splitter over the top, and now Chalice looking to be able to get the kill on Seb. Maybe more as Thompson. Burst goes down. Toss forward. Chalice, he's going to die. Somnus actually accidentally killing his off-laner. And maybe he may have just got himself killed as well as Anna chasing him down with the Radiance. Somnus is going to need another beautiful toss away. Looking for it.
A little too long, potentially.
But it's going to be too long. The Avalanche is there. The gun slowing down Somnus, and the Radiance will burn him down. No chance for a blink.
And Anna finally decides to participate with his Radiance. He understands that he's the strongest hero in the game. He's got to make his presence known. March his way towards the top lane, and it looked like it was going to be so good from PSG.LGD. They got the disruption on the Sand King. They were fighting under the Sandstorm for so long, but it sort of evens out.
One of the advantages of this Chen is being able to pull people around the map, and we see that with Thompson, who gets TP'd back to the fountain, is ready to go with the TP somewhere else in the map. If he felt like he wanted to go top, he could have done so.
Yeah, and for the third game in a row, OG is going to take the mid tower first. They prioritized it so heavily in their games.
Oh, Arcane Room going to be left behind, and Anna sees it. Thank you very much. That'll mean some more acid sprays.
Top, going to be taken.
They see all these heroes rotating over. PSG.LGD really want to take the fight, but Seb is going to try and get the initiation onto Somnus. They have the unstable concoction, but the rest of PSG.LGD is on their way. There goes the duel, but Chalice going to be able to get a two-man Burrow Strike. Ame pouncing in as well with the two-man Dark Pact on top of everything else, on top of the Somp, and now they have Seb dead, but Anna is still so tanky. He gave him with his dying breath the Presti attack. The level 4 Presti attack with so much regeneration means Anna will be able to bring down X-Nova. Now he looks for more, but Chalice, he's just trying to pull the creeps away. A buyback over to the side, the buyback. Chen is here as well. X-Nova trying to catch him. FY looking for the disruption while Ame taking stacks after stacks, but he waited out the dark. Ame's gonna die. Oh, the Chalice save! Ame trying to get away. The toss over onto the Sunny, but it doesn't matter. Ame lives. Anna dies, and now Thompson's going to be run down underneath the trees as he tries to juke it around, but eventually Somnus is going to be able to find him. They have the Burrow Strike there as well. Back over to Ame, who managed to finish off Jerix on top of everything else. 7-14 LGD win a massive fight in the top lane.
And OG, I thought that Ame was dead for sure, but they find the save for him. The follow-up, this is going to be a value shrine. I'd like them to continue to play faster, smoke up, attack that triangle area. You're together here as 5 right now. Looks like they're going to back out, farm through. Ame still in a really comfortable position, about to pick up his Diffusal Blade. Medallion on Chalice.
Feels a little bit like game 1 now, where OG had that net worth lead. But once LGD were finally able to reclaim it, things started snowballing heavily. We'll see if LGD can do that again, or if they're going to play it a little bit more passive this time around, because they do have so many items about to flow in. Ame almost has a Diffusal Blade. They're going to work towards Aghanim Scepter on Somnus, though he needs the full kit still.
And if you're PSG.LGD, you probably want to take a fight. They've got to be a little bit cautious, though. And they did end up going to the triangle area. They just didn't smoke for it. OG, they've got the Ravage. They want to take this fight, too. Both teams feeling like they're stronger than the other.
Where Thompson shows up is all important because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He needs to be able to get on top of PSG.LGD, and he gets on top of X-Nova right away. But there's the disruption. Thompson dodges the stomp. Seth still trying to close the distance, wants to be able to catch X-Nova, but he completed his TP. Anna will stun himself. They'll surely know about the vision on the high ground now, but OG did not get the successful smoke gank that they were hoping for.
Yeah, both teams battling it out for position right now. And now it's going to be an immediate run into the Roche pit. Feels like deja vu of game number 1.
Yeah, it's because Somnus TP'd out to the bottom lane. He thought that was spaced as OG failed to find a kill, but now he has to run all the way across the map.
And it's got a BKB too. They should feel pretty strong here, but they don't do it quite fast enough.
Can PSG.LGD actually take a 5-on-5 against BKB and a pipe with Ravage?
They're looking like it. I don't think you can give this Aegis up for free because I feel like it's going to be then a repeat of game 2.
If they find an opening like this, it's going to be massive with the Soul Catcher taunt. Again, who can survive against that combo? Certainly not good.
With the pipe, it looked like he was strong enough. You were wrong, friend, and now the crowd coming back alive. Zeb said, where are you at? And they're responding now. Top lane, gonna get caught on now.
He's going to use that last bit of life to kill the Observer Ward, and he does manage to pick up the bounty rune. So Thompson grabbing the 3 on the right side of the map, but if they can actually kill this Alchemist, it would be huge. He still has BKB, but he doesn't pop it fast enough. He's the Pro Shark instead. Ana thought he had more time, but that is a limited resource against PSG.LGD's aggression.
Pickoff after pickoff, they're finding course around the map. You still haven't really felt the impact of this Tidehunter either. 0-3-3. Thompson was so dominant in game number 2.
7-17. Still LGD holding that slight net worth lead against an Alchemist.
You're not feeling good right now if you're OG. Your Alch Chen combo should be the strongest at this point. You picked up a pipe on Seb. You've got a Vlad's, a medallion on Thompson. This is almost the exact same situation as last game. They've itemized in a very similar way too, but it just doesn't really feel like they've got the same oomph.
There's so many things that I mean, Seb maxed out press the attack first, for example. Him going for the pipe, as you said, is like, they're all showing that they're trying to synergize around making this Alchemist the strongest he can be. And now Seb may just get caught again. Thompson's going to be here, ready to go with the Ravage. 2-man Burrow Strike, the Earth Splitter as well. Beautifully placed. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Stomp, though, will allow them to retreat.
They're just going to back up, as they rightfully should. They don't quite have the mana for this, and it looks like they're just going to walk into Roshan again. I heard Anna, he did pop his ulti. And yep, if you toggle it off, it works.
He managed to do it in time, so LGD won't have that easy way.
You just have to spam press it, I believe.
Yeah.
And it takes it off, because he definitely had Radiance turned on when he was under. When he pops out, neither the illusions did.
Gush, as well as the medallion.
Oh, this is a nice room for him to pick up the illusion. This is going to scout out for him, stop any blinks. The initiation up from the Sand King as well.
Disruption onto the Illusion Alchemist. Not able to turn that Radiance off. They have vision of that Observer Ward as well, but everyone is a little bit too scared to be that far forward. Jarek showing himself at top, Anna showing himself at bottom. LGD have a little bit more confidence that they control this mid area. The BKB soon for Ame. If OG doesn't take that Roshan soon, I fear they may miss their timing blitz.
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out where they go from here, because once he gets the AC, that's one of the strongest power spikes in the game for this Alchemist.
Yep.
You can get items after that, but the 3-item timing of this Alch is used to be, it's so powerful. That's what they rode last game, and this game it feels like they're still going for the same play. It's just not really there for them. It's harder for them to push into PSG.LGD's lineup. They haven't taken enough tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Thompson, I think, has had the roughest game. We're not really feeling the impact of this Tidehunter. It feels like he's having a similar performance that maybe did. And it doesn't feel good going all these items that are meant to empower your Alchemist, and you're not winning team fights behind that hero. So they're going to go for it again.
Spirit revealing and slowing things down. Hope until the Mud Golem stunning up X-Nova.
But Ame's really far away. They noticed that he wasn't there, and this might actually be...
It's a free rush. Unless. No. Something's not going to go for it, is he? He's thinking about it. He's hovering around this area. He's going to go for the blink, gushed up. Won't be able to anymore. The Earth Splitter going down. Chalice, who got tries to get in, but the Age is picked up by Anna. And now Chalice immediately punishes. He's hit by the Ravage. They do have the disruption on top of the duel. X-Nova will eventually die here. Ame with his BKB. He activates it, but everybody of OG is so tanky. PSG.LGD, was this a mistake to try and challenge this Roshan FY? Trying to get away, but there's so many blinks coming in. Another round of unstable concoction. Catches FY. LGD lose the Roshan, and they lose 3.
I'm so surprised that they took the fight in that way. They held for so long, and then they just gave up the area. Ame decided he was going to go bottom, and then TP's back to base.
And OG has
just going for it.
That if you give them this opening, they're going to push it in a hurry. They do have a Yagnum Scepter for Somnus. This is going to be rather important in being able to defend. He throws out the volley with the Burrow Strike. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Avalanche followed up. Seb, as well as Anna, knocked down to half health. But
that was the buyback from the Sand King.
They're going to be able to finish off the Sand King. No buyback from him. There's going to be one coming out from X-Nova. But these heroes are rapidly regenerating up, thanks in part to No-Tail and his healing aura. And Ame, he's trying to build up some S and chip charges. More volleys into the back line as he goes. But this is looking like Anna is unstoppable. Jarek's buying them the time with the Sandstorm, making sure everybody gets out except for him. And yeah, that is going to be Jarek's con. Thompson thinking about turning around. He doesn't have Ravage.
They've come back in.
Anna coming back in. X-Nova going to be saved by so much damage, but in the end, he's going to be left alone. Somnus does manage to finish off Jarek, so support for support trade-up at LGD, still down 2.
But there's no more racks for them to take. They know there's bounty runes. They're going to reset off of that. That'll be a 2-for-1, and the racks taken. Ame's decision and whoever's call it was on PSG.LGD, that might prove to be fatal. The decision to split up, give up that Roshan area to deal with the rest of the waves.
Yep.
You had to have known that OG was desperate to take that Rosh.
And then in the end, once that mistake does happen, trying to cover up that mistake by fighting for the Aegis.
Yes, once Ame, I think he realized, he's like, oh man, I actually messed up. So you try to overplay. He BKBs, uses that and his ulti. Once that pops off, OG knows this Slark cannot 5-on-5 against us.
Well, we'll see how well LGD is going to be able to hold, because OG, you know what they want to do.
They're going to get a heart on this Alk, and the regen with the Divine Favor is going to be out of control. Percentage-based heal on percentage-based heal.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of health he'll have.
And again, they still don't have a Spirit Vessel either. That still would have been handled by the Legion Commander with the Press the Attack, which is another great synergy with this Alchemist. So even if he does get chain stun, they always have a way to be able to break it.
Somehow they find themselves in the exact same position they did in the previous game.
It's a little bit tougher to go high ground a second time, though.
Oh, look at this. Seb went back for drums so they could all in for it.
Nice.
He knows, he smells blood right now.
He's going to be pulled in soon.
You only go for this item, you go back for this item because you think to yourself, this game's going to be over real quick.
Yes. Somnus. They have the Sandstorm DPS, they have the volley, they have these little things they can throw out, but they have to be able to address the back line of OG, and look where Thompson is. He's trying to break smokes right now. They're going to sneak over with the Slark, but he's been spotted by. They are going to make the entrance. Two-man Burrow Strike. Immediately Raps going down. The unstable concoction cocked up, ready to go. On to Chalice, won the duel. On to Somnus. He's trying to get the cleaves in, but it just dies. The Earth Splitter goes out, but it's not enough. Ame's building up the damage. Seb has been purged up. Maybe they can finish him off. Chalice actually managed to get away, but at the same time, Ame could not commit for Seb. So in the end, it's just Somnus who died with no buyback.
And that was everything that PSG.LGD had. They committed hard for that fight. They still have the epicenter, but a lot of this damage just being negated by the heart. Anna's just going to go back in.
He needs 60 gold. 60 gold for the buyback on Somnus, or 30 seconds. Which will it be, LGD? Are they going to have to give up 2 lanes of barracks against this combo? Jarek's throwing down some volleys of his own. Chalice prepping the epicenter blink. He's going to be able to get the 2 in the back line. Can they actually finish him off this time? They're just so damn tanky. There's no follow-up damage. They don't have the tiny. The pipe is too strong, and Chalice sitting amongst them inside the Sandstorm, trying to push them back, but he's going to have to burrow strike away from Ana as Ana pops another Chemical Rage, turns to the melee barracks. And this is going to be 2 as Ame starts racking up those stacks into the back line. This time he'll commit the BKB to finish off the Chen. Couldn't stop it. And Seb has to complete the teleport in, managed to get the duel. Can they kill Ame though? The BKB is still going off, and he gets more and more stats. Shadow Dance away. Ana looking for any target that's weak, but he has to TP away. He realizes he's low. Disruption's up. He got him. And boy, got him. He stalls up Ana, and now Ana. Oh no, the Burrow Strike Challenge. This is not the moment to choke, my friend. But fortunately, Somnus is always there to protect you.
And Thompson in the backline has been chased. Ame with so many stacks, 141 agility. They wanted to get away from that slug. It took them a little bit too long. They do lose the melee barracks, but that's a 5-man team wipe. PSG.LGD needed that desperately.
And as a result, it was quite the net worth climb for OG in these fights, but it is going to take heavily back down. Is OG now only holding a 5,000 net worth, and Ame is going to start claiming some items, starting with the Shadow Blade, working towards a Silver Edge. We almost have the Solar Crest for the Sand King. Somnus now has a crit with the Crystallis. That volley just gets more and more dangerous, but OG, they only really need 1, maybe 2 more fights.
Look at OG. They're hiding so far behind Jarex. He's being patient right now. They understand that PSG.LGD with the numbers advantage is on the hunt. That's why Ame's going to go all the way around.
He's got the Shadow Blade. He's still got the extra 100 agility he's stolen from earlier. And with the Dark Pack going out, Jarex, that is not a steal that will get you away from Ame.
That's 123 agility that he still has, and the 11 perma. That's quite a bit of it.
And all the bounty rooms. That is, look at that, 2,000 net worth. That's it.
And the gold lead is swung now the other way. These 2 Titans just swinging for the fences right now. And OG has to be careful. Every other team has proved that Mega Creeps does not end the game. If you are consistently getting wiped for just racks, that does not feel good.
At the same time, though, they know that PSG.LGD does not have buyback on their Shadow Demon, Chalice, as well as X-Nova. Do you try and force it anyway in this fight, or are you just waiting for Roshan?
I think you're waiting for Roshan. That's probably your next objective, for both teams, in fact.
Okay.
For OG, it's how you get potentially the last set of racks without having to hard commit. For PSG.LGD, getting it onto Ame so that he doesn't have to use his BKB so soon would be pretty nice. And remember that OG is still on the timer. A lot of these items that they've opted to go for, they're not meant to scale.
I mean, you said it perfectly with Seb, right?
You went back for drugs.
You go back for drugs is all inning right now.
Yeah, you think, I'm going to win this fight, they're going to break, we're going to wipe them, we're going to go for the throne, I'm going to pop my drums active repeatedly. They've got like 14 auras.
Oh boy, Thompson. He's got his level 20, and he's about to finish up a Desolator. So when Roshan does spawn, they can do it super quickly. But at the same time, PSG.LGD,
Ame uses buyout gold here.
Ame,
gotta be careful. They've got a gem.
The volley, slowing down some of those supports, but they pulled in Ana, and I'm not sure PSG.LGD are ready to take a fight right now. Epicenter, oh, Chalice. Fortunately, he held on to it in a way. He stopped it, so OG don't know he used that big team fight ultimate.
Doesn't feel too good. Ame, whenever you use your buyback gold out like that, it feels so bad. Yes, you have your Silver Edge, but you don't feel comfortable fighting at this point.
Yeah. Tense game. A tense game 3 for OG and LGD. This determines who's going to be heading to the grand finals. Will it be a repeat? Will OG beat LGD in the upper bracket finals and go all the way through to the grand finals for the 2nd year in a row? Or will it be LGD changing history, changing the fate, the path that laid before them into Shanghai?
You can forget about the last TI if you win this one.
Yes.
This is the biggest one by far. It'll sting a lot less.
In so many ways, whether it's the prize pool or the pride of finding under your home nation.
The only thing that matters is being the latest champion.
15 to 25, 33 minutes in. We're going to have a split push. OG, they've got 2 towers to take bottom lane. Ame plays the other side of the map. And PSG.LGD, they're not looking for a fight until Roshan. And Roshan, it's up right now. Surprising that OG be willing to play the other side of the map, but maybe they feel like LGD just can't do Roshan quickly by themselves.
I think LGD is just waiting for their opportunity to just hold out another high ground assault like that.
Yeah.
That's where their Sand King's going to be the strongest too, is when OG is going to push into him. Plus, PSG.LGD, I think they make the right read on the game. They should feel like if it continues to go on, they will win. I have to imagine this is the Slark.
They're going to try and break him. They're going to toss him into Ame. Ame looking for the break, but no. Thompson gets off the Ravage first on the 4. No real follow-up from OG, though, so honestly, that's good enough for LGD, forcing out that ultimate.
Yeah, with the Ravage down, that would have been the gem. That's why Thompson was so willing to pop that. Even though it might cost you another fight, not losing the gem is the key here.
So OG say, that's fine, we have time. We'll just spend 2 minutes before we take Roshan. LGD are not going to be able to force the issue themselves.
And this is going to be an Ags picked up by Ana. Wonder who he gives it to. Jerax would be a pretty good call.
Thompson now has the Desolator, and he's somewhat close to 25. This is something that Ame may have to start worrying about a little bit.
The lack of armor on Tiny?
No, just the gigantic amount of AoE damage that comes from this anchor smash.
I was being sarcastic.
Somnus gonna be caught. Pounce dead. Woo. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Daedalus soon for Somnus too.
Everybody has so much armor on the side of PSG.LGD.
They really do.
Oh.
This Tiny 34 armor. Ame is 25 for himself.
I don't actually think they care about this Deso very much. But I feel like OG's lineup, they're kind of running out of options for what they can get.
Buyback from Seb with this stomp. What's happening here? He's actually going to TP over to Ame, but at the same time, they're still trying to finish off Thompson. That is not going to be good enough unless the
Gem on the ground too.
Gem on the ground. Chalice not able to grab him, but look at the damage rating in from the volley. Ame's now here. The BKB activated, and they quickly realize that with the BKB chemical rage, Ana is too tanky to go for. X-Nova thought he was going to be able to get it. Couldn't get the gem. Gem drop. Thompson reclaims it.
They don't want to give up this Roshan area. Ame's going to hop in. Somnus is going to bottle up that invis. Not that good because of the gem that they still happen to have, but PSG.LGD in a really good position right now. The buybacks were used by OG, but of course, as we saw throughout this game, all that really matters is who gets this Roshan.
That's why everyone's just playing around that mid lane.
They gave the Ags to the Tide, by the way. One of my favorite Ags in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so awkward, and it's like a better version of Venge's Wave of Terror.
I mean, you've got the Gush Armor talent for it, too, so that's minus 12 in a line, plus the Acid Spray. Plus, you know, Solar Crests that are being thrown around on both sides. Disable Concoction popped, a momentary stun onto Ame. Doesn't want to blow his BKB, so he pounces down into the river.
Building up those stacks. He's got 12 perma Agi. That's so much. They're looking for the backline right now. Thompson does have it.
He's been confident. He's been a 3-man Rogue Strike. The Ravage goes off, though, controlling up Ame. He gets burst down by Thompson. The big swing of the anchor smash. Finish mob. Now FY trying to get the force tap. Disruption out. Stomp going in. That's going to be Jarek's already dead. No Tail's quite low as well. But the cores of OG going strong. The buyback coming in from Ame, though. Can he come in? Can he deal with Thompson? Burst strike out for challenge to X-Nova. He's going to be left. Fed to Ana and Thompson.
No Tail about to burn out, but
no Tail almost dying there. The press of the attack helps him, though.
And all the buybacks filtering through. And I lied, Thompson does so much damage.
Dude, Thompson does so much damage, and he doesn't even have the 25 talent yet.
I can't believe Ame died to that. And Roshan's getting really low. We talked about how important this was.
The volley's up, they're going to throw it in, but it's going to be too late to be able to claim Roshan at least. So LGD gonna have to do another one of their famed high ground defenses.
OG just figures it out. They find a way, they dig deep. They figure out a way to win. Look at the net worth and the XP slowly start to climb back in their favor. I figured for sure PSG.LGD's lineup would be stronger at this point, but OG are just out fighting them. Their use of the buybacks feel a little bit better.
And it all starts with Jerix, right? He gets the telekinesis, the follow-up Ravage, then they Solar Crest the Slark, hit him with the big Anchor Smash.
Yeah, this is just one team outplaying another at this point. This should be where PSG.LGD is stronger. OG is just looking like
an opening here, trying to jump onto Ana, force something out, for a strike out for the duel. Immediately used onto Tiny. Saw this. Is there a save? There's no. Oh no, there's no Shadow Demon here.
Chalice is going to go down too.
Back, and Chalice is dead. They both fight back. Ame, he's now here, breaking Ana. No BKB for him, but he does have cheese. Oh, at the epicenter, and the Bro Strike, they're going to try and finish off. No tell, he died, immediately bites back. Ana fighting up against Ame. Ame with the Shadow Dance, though. Cheese immediately popped. They're going to try and back themselves away, playing the high ground again. OG, will they assault the base again? Or will they just play it slow?
I think they should just go for it again. They've got Ravage in 20 seconds. They've got Aegis. I think Thompson's just going back for mana, and they're going to go for it again. There's no buyback on a lot of these heroes on the side of PSG.LGD. All it's going to take is one more swing, one successful team fight, and OG will have won and secured themselves a top 2 finish at this TI.
250 damage up for Thompson, and he's got Ravage. He can play the front line now. He can be the one hitting the tower if they want.
Ana doesn't have buyback himself, but they're just going to allow Thompson to swing away at this tower. Ame looking for an opening, gonna go in, break.
Soul Catcher, he's actually so low already, but he lets loose the Ravage. Are they gonna be able to follow up? They have the disruption. Challenge gonna be able to intercept, making sure the Steph doesn't manage to get the duel. Saw this, force staffed away as well, but they're going in for the Megas right now. They still have a Rax up in top lane, so this is not Megas by itself. Saw this, trying to finish off Thompson. That is maybe gonna be the Aegis one little bit. They spot him out for a moment, and swing it away. He almost dies, but the Shadow Dance plus the BKB, he's gonna be able to get away. Unstable concoction, disruption, he's gonna stun himself. He does. Thompson, though, making his way up to top lane, has to force half away. FY in danger of that Anchor Smash. The finishing blow. OG all in. One last chance to make their way to the grand finals here. Get those Megas, but don't lose your lives forward as they do not have buyback. They don't have the Ravage anymore. Can they get this range barracks? Can they get the Megas? And can they get out afterwards? PSG.LGD.
They're going to have to do this 4-on-5, no buybacks.
Disruption, leading things on, trying to get those illusions, stomp into the backlines, doesn't hit anything, and immediately Chemical Rage, that's going to be Megas. PSG.LGD will try and hold against Mega Creeps.
OG, they might not be done yet.
LGD is saying, if we can just draw this out a little bit longer, maybe we can win, but OG may not give the chance. Mega Creeps isn't good enough for this team. They're going to go for the tier 4s, and will this be the blow that ends the game? Will this be the way that they get to the grand finals, or will this be their fatal mistake? One tier 4 down, a break, onto Jerix, immediately disruption going out. Ame, he's been disrupted, his illusions, got to stay away from those. He's going to go for Thompson here. BKB activated, Soul Catcher on him, press the attack though, helping him out, Earth Splitter. Oh, but they caught the duel. They caught Ame, and he's dead for 2 minutes. The volley's coming in, but it's not good enough. Now, the physical damage will overwhelm the throne, and PSG.LGD in a 3 versus 5 can no longer hold OG in the upper bracket finals. Bring down LGD. OG are going to the grand finals for the 2nd year in a row.
They will have the opportunity to defend their throne. If you come at the Kings, you best not miss.
OG have done it again. Absolutely unprecedented.
The most stacked TI field that we've ever seen. Probably the best top 4 that we've ever seen, and they're still gonna do it.
Unbelievable, especially with what a great way to start this series too. LGD taking the win in somewhat of a tight game. The crowd backing him, but OG come back twice.
They don't
with
care.
The Alchemist, and they don't care about the crowd.
They won. Oh my lord, I can't believe they get the opportunity to defend. That is incredible. You can see the relief and the happiness. So many doubters.
How have they done it?
It was a fluke. They just sort of like lapsed their way in.
2 flukes in a row. OG is something else. And the crowd, they will give their due.
Or maybe this is just honestly the best team in Dota. Who knows?
They're certainly the best team in this tournament right now. What an unbelievable race from OG. Winning 2-1.
a fluke. A fluke. You cannot call it a fluke anymore as we see OG make their way to another grand final. And we're going to take a look into the coach's room of OG when they actually see it happen. Such a huge achievement. And the question is, will they actually get an achievement that no one has gotten before? Will they not only win 2 TIs, will they win back-to-back TIs? I mean, we're really staring at that potential right now. If you were going to pick a team to take them down, would it be LGD? Is that rematch happening in the grand final? Do you think that that's the best chance they have of being dethroned?
It feels, I mean, LGD, right? They took a game in this series, and then they got Chen out twice in a row, and it feels like, you know, they thought they had this counter, and I could definitely see them coming back through the loser's bracket and being the grand finals opponent, like 100%.
You lose to Alk. You play next game, you don't ban Alk, profit, right?
Okay. So why does that happen?
Sometimes the captains and the coaches are just stubborn. They think they can counter it. In the end, it didn't happen.
It's the evil you know, I guess. Yeah. I think it's kind of the thing that you're going for there, because that was one of the first things that caught my ear. And obviously, I have like probably the second lowest MMR out of all the casters.
Yeah, sorry,
and I'm hearing this interview, and you see the out go there, you see the out go through, and you're just like, wait, why? And the coach says, okay, we're gonna let the out go through. We have a plan for it. We're gonna try to shut it down. Alk seems to be one of these names that we're going to be saying consistently. Like Alk and Ench are the two that jump off the page to me as just being the nuts.
It feels like every time that we bring up this point of, well, better to fight the enemy you know, it's because we're talking about someone who just lost to that, right? People have tried to fight the IO. They've tried to fight the Alk. Has it looked good?
No.
No, not really.
Nothing
those
ever
guys,
looks good.
How do you fight them? I mean, they banned out that AA. I can see that maybe working. Even that's not a surefire victory versus someone like the Alchemist.
So let's do some quick math, right?
Okay. Oh, I love
quick
math.
and
I'll use
correct.
my
So
fingers.
stacking minus armor, AoE Gush with the Aghanim Scepter talent, 7 plus
do you want to do
5
the 7?
talent, that's 12.
Oh,
Solar
here,
Crest.
wait, you hold up 10. I got the 2.
We need more fingers.
We're
Plus
at 12?
that's 24. And plus 7 from Acid Spray.
Hey,
that's 31. 31.
With all of that, I only need one finger. You know why?
All right.
Because we're throwing it over to Casey.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty shaken. I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty emotional.
Can you walk me through what that feels like? Nobody, I mean, you made it to the grand final.
That's fucking wild. It's crazy. It's still sinking in very much.
I think we talked to you back in January and we asked if you had dared to start looking ahead to TI9 and the possibility of being in a grand final. And you all said it's way too soon. We're not thinking that far ahead. And we're here.
Before this tournament, things were a bit dark. My dog had died, and yeah, it was really rough for a couple of weeks.
Sorry.
My self-esteem was pretty low, and now we're here. Sebastian, I mean, honestly, I dedicate this tournament to him. Oh, fuck, this is so crazy.
You're making me cry. Stop it.
No, but really, thank you, Sebastian, and of course, everyone else. Just feeling so fucking lucky, feeling so fucking good. Yeah. That's fucking adrenaline, I'm shaking.
It's like the full range of every emotion that you can imagine. And I know you have a lot of respect for the fans here who obviously have been really excited to watch LGD play. Such a great team, such a great matchup. How did this lineup and matchup feel to you compared to a year ago? I mean, we're literally watching history repeat itself.
I mean, the LGD guys, they always give us these fantastic Dota games, and we feel so honored that we have this opportunity once again to play on a main stage in front of so many people. And the crowd has been absolutely wonderful. Like, we know they cheer more for LGD than us, but there's a lot of guys in the crowd who are showing, I mean, love for the game and love for both teams. And it was a blessing. I mean, I'm vibrating, and I think a lot of it is that energy from the crowd. And yeah, these games, it's crazy. It's just wild. Freaking love it.
You mentioned Seb, but what about the rest of your teammates? I know that you formed quite a tight brotherhood in the last year, even with Anna leaving and coming back.
This group of guys, I woke up the other day and I thought to myself, like, what would it be like to play Dota with another team? And that was very depressive thought, because I wouldn't change a single thing. I wouldn't change anything. These guys, they got my back, and I can feel it. I love them.
I have so many Dota questions, and I'm just not going to ask them, because I love being able to see this moment with you, because so many people have been following your journey as a player and the team's journey, and this is what Dota is all about.
It really is. Oh my God, these games are so wild. Whew. What a good feeling.
Are you going to watch tonight?
Of course.
Secret Liquid?
I'm not missing a single game, not missing a second.
Who would you like to see in the grand final?
Last year, I really, really wanted to play Liquid, and I still feel like they owe us that game. I mean, we owe each other that game, really. I really hope to meet them, although Secret has been a challenge for us all year, so we'll welcome it as well. God bless anybody that comes our way. Good luck to them. Not kidding. We're staying humble here. So much respect to all the teams. LGD, fantastic games. Liquid, I die to play them. Secret, they've been the best team this season. No matter what, we're just happy to play. Feeling so lucky.
And while I have you here, before we send it back, is there anything you want to say to all the fans who've been watching?
It's just thank you all for supporting us. We've been memeing it up this year. It's all for good laughs. I hope you guys are just enjoying the show. And yeah, to the crowd, the stadium, this is crazy. The atmosphere is so wild.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for showing us some amazing Dota.
Thanks for watching.
Showing us how it's done. All right, back to you guys.
Yeah, and thank you not only for the amazing Dota, but also for letting us talk to you right after hopping off the stage. I mean, you can see a lot going on there. It's one of those moments, though, where you see an interview like that, and you just get completely sold. It's like, okay, I'm not even thinking of 2-time, 3-time champs. Complete life glitches. Yeah. You know, like you look at them and you just really believe, especially when you hear not only everything that you have to overcome in individual life, a bad season inside of Dota, and then you get up on the main stage and you're just able to put it all together. It's incredible.
I mean, someone like No Tail, back, when he played Han, we didn't really like each other much, but, when the Dota 2, we both grew up, he didn't have to like me ever, honestly, and he was always so nice. He's like one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. It's crazy. You walk by him, just hey, what's up, man? To everyone. It's awesome to see someone like him just make it there.
I just tweeted it out. We don't deserve No Tail. He's just too good for this community. He really is.
Yeah. A dangerous thing to be, but hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Every time he comes up on the main stage, and on top of that, I think his attitude is just such a good one. I mean, it's almost not a surprise when you see him able to just hurdle after hurdle.
Team Liquid versus Team Secret. Game one.
Welcome to this excellent game one of this super important draft here, guys. What are the main points that we're going to be focusing on here?
Oh, well, I don't know where to start, man. I still have a bit of jitters, honestly. It was I almost forgot to come do my job,
but you're here. It's fine. So what do you got now?
Oh, man. These teams know each other well, right? Kuro and Puppy, they've played together at 3 TIs. There's history here. They're the only 2 players that have been at every single one. You got to look now at the legacy of these teams, of these players, because it's not about the meta anymore. It's about, all right, what do we believe in? And I honestly don't know. I'm surprised. Yeah, there you go. They let the Wisp through.
I mean, there's a lot of really strong heroes right now that feel like auto wins, right? You got Wisp, Alchemist feels too good, Tiny's extremely good, maybe not first round ban, Enchantress is super good, so you got to let somebody through, right?
Even Chen for good Chen teams.
Yeah, that's true.
But Wisp of all heroes.
Yeah.
This is the one, people trying to theory craft, what do we ban against OG? Wisp is a must, you think about, but...
Do you feel like any teams have really given countering IO a good try, though. It kind of feels like they draft lineups, but they're not like, okay, we got to beat the IO. I don't necessarily know what it is, but there's got to be something you can do, right? There's an example. Chen you can take over the neutral creep that he's tied to. Yep. It's going to force him to tether to somebody that's slower. Yeah, it's going to leave him defenseless in the early game potentially if you gank him. That's one option. Because Elder Titan can become so fast with Astral Spirit, but also because he amplifies the spirit damage that's dealt. Yeah. So maybe there's a laning option here. Could see that.
I like the Earth Spirit in theory, just because you provide like the most possible lockdown of any 4 position, and we've seen too many times now these carry wisps living with 10, 20% HP, and boom, they tether away to a teammate at light speed, and they survive. When you have an Omni Knight as well, the more lockdown and silence you have, the better, because you're going to be playing again. If you only have like a Ravage to play around, right? To 100 to 0 a core, while CCing one of these incredibly versatile support heroes, which again could be a core for all we know.
So that's most likely the 5, right? That's probably a Puppy Witch Doctor, I think.
Yeah, most likely. Very effective against Tide. You can't dispel off Maledict, and then he also transitions to killing solo cores later on.
Yep. I love the Lesh pick. Yeah. I mean, you know me. This is my favorite hero in Dota. I think the Disco Pony is perfect here. You love playing it against Wisp because you just get in and you do tons of AoE damage. Wisp naturally is going to be positioned around other allied heroes. Leshrac does arguably the most AoE possible in Dota 2. And in addition, it's one of 2 heroes Secret's played more than 10 times this year that they have over 90% win. And I know Liquid's picked it up, but my point is simply that Secret have abused heroes like Lesh, like Enigma, this early tower pressure throughout the entire year. The winningest team thus far in this circuit. And I think Liquid now have this excellent team fight composition, and they're going to be able to push the tempo. Perhaps Roche into racks in like 20 minutes if they get ahead.
So Secret picked OD, which is kind of not the like steroid type of mid people pick with the carry wisp. They've been picking Gyro, Windrunner. I think Troll Warlord was ran by OG as well. They pick these heroes that usually attack fast, right? Or attack multiple targets. So that the Wisp, if they go late game, the Wisp is also going to be a threat. So this is a little more old school, I think. The Omni OD is like a year or 2 old.
It's a throwback for sure.
Yeah. Back when it was Magic Community, right, on Repel.
Yeah.
Do you think this signals that they might outrun IO as a carry?
I don't think they can run it as a support right now. They have no stuns besides like Casket. And if there's like BKBs going, this OD is going to do nothing.
Yep.
And so they need this like support that either has some short cooldown on stuns. Maybe they can even run like a Lion 4 or something along these lines.
And I don't usually see Secret. Like they're the team that popularized Enigma. Like Yapsor is 28-2. The team's 28-2 on the year. And you look at this, you have nothing against BKBs. Absolutely nothing. So their last pick's going to have to be able to, I assume, do some kind of physical damage. Otherwise, like really Wisp OD as your 1 and 2, that's very ambitious.
Like the Wisp can turn into like physical at once 25, but before 25, you're mostly about balls. So your Ags tethering to a core with your heart, so he can hit high ground, but what core do you tether?
Yeah, and look at Liquid's lineup. That's not a draft that's looking to go to 45 minutes. They're going to be probably peaking in terms of like the lineup's gold efficiency usage around 20, and a Shaker offlane, mid, support.
Carry.
Yapsor's hero, perhaps?
Mid played at mid the other day against the...
Yeah, Miracle's also played a carry for Liquid. So Secret kind of taking, they're looking at other people's notebooks. They took the Wisp from OG. They could take the carry Earthshaker from Liquid.
This is their counter pusher, right? That's one thing that Secret's lineup is super missing, actually.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like I'm leaning towards it's a Yapsor Shaker because they've been wanting to last people. Oh, jeez.
So at the last major, I think Liquid picked this versus LGD, the Meepo versus OD matchup. And the matchup I think was hard for the OD, but the Meepo crushed him after 15 minutes.
Yep.
He can Astro 1 and then he just goes down.
Liquid have won every game in this lower bracket. with these weird last picks. This is another one, and it's a weak comfort pick. Like, I love this draft. Secret's got an uphill battle.
Well, right before we throw to the casters, let's toss it over to Nahaz for the last word.
So much of this series is going to be defined by a matchup between two dynamic core position players. Miracle and Nisha already staking their claim statistically as two of the best players ever in LAN competition. Kills per minute, Miracle 9.4. That is almost a full kill over any other player out of the 244 players with 100+ appearances all time. These two players join Ramses as the only other in the top 5 in career GPM and experience per minute and win rate, both of them in the top 10. Nisha in only his first year with Secret. Hero-wise, we got that core IO potentially in the hands of Secret, undefeated here in the main event, but Liquid counter with Meepo. We 26 career wins on Meepo, most in Pro Dota 2 all time. We got one hell of a match coming up to you. Who better to bring it to you? Back in NA, they're the pride of the Pacific Northwest, but they're spitting straight fire on the stage in Shanghai. Here are Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you so much, Nahaz. And yes, Trent, a legendary matchup we got coming up right now. Liquid, Secret, tale as old as time. How you feeling, my man?
Absolutely fantastic. We're here. I like what Kyle said. Liquid, they haven't dropped a game. Through the lower bracket, the same story as the previous year. Something about the upper bracket is for people in britches, I think he said, Miracle. It was something along those lines. Either way, they're here again, and this time they're taking on Team Secret.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, I think that a lot of people, again, you might forget that Liquid was the TI7 winners with all the emphasis that was given over to LGD and OG last year. These guys came in fourth, you know, they put on a very solid performance, but now needing to make it happen yet again for themselves. And of course, Secret finally able to overcome that hurdle of not making it past the 5th, 6th spots. Both teams, a lot to prove. They got to do it here on the big stage in Shanghai.
Yeah, they found themselves into a matchup versus this newly rejuvenated Liquid. And it features our friend, Mr. Weehaw, and the hero that first made him famous, right? Yeah. The Meepo. And perhaps infamous, however you want to put it, but Weehaw showed up on the map because of this lovely group of heroes. And you ban his TA. Sure, he's been playing that a lot, but the Meepo is where his heart truly resides.
And I mean, this is really a good Meepo game. You look at this lineup, and Earthshaker always something they get a little bit concerned about, but there are a lot of heroes that are around to protect them. We'll have to wait and see, as already a little bit of a battle looking for these bounty runes. Puppey throws out the cask and able to steal away that bounty. So 3 going the way of Secret early on as Mind Control still taking a lot of damage there. But will be able to pick up the bounty rune and then salve up afterwards.
Yeah, that's Earthshaker. It's kind of like that classic, like, noob counter almost of like versus the Broodmother, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna Echo Slam all these spiders. Surely this will be good.
That casted out bounce, and Puppey now in some trouble as the punch down comes from Curl. Fairy Fire to heal back up, eats his way through the trees, and that's enough to get the captain away.
Ooh, keeping it nice and easy peasy there from Niche on that core IO. As, yeah, this match, we heard Gunnar talking about it as well, where into that mid and late game, that's where this Meepo versus the OD's really going to shine. Meepo, of course, a hero that loves to build just stats all around, and doesn't really fall too hard prey to the sanities unless mid one gets, like, super farmed, right?
Yeah, that is definitely a problem. Mid one starts to build a lead. This hero's so good at snowballing. Lane we haven't really talked about as of yet is Miracle and GH down bottom. That Earth Spirit and Leshrac trying to stand up against the Omni Knight. As Weehaw, again, going to take some of those pot shots. But yeah, kind of an interesting little roll-in as we see Zai just going to waltz away.
Yeah, at the same time, mid lane, they're threatening with Yapsor here. Weehaw getting pretty low. Just waiting to see if they can find that one moment. The Astral was just coming up here. Need the block
opening. They have the setup for this perfectly with the banishment running out. It's going to be the walk over from Yapsor and first blood drawn by the Earthshaker.
As is tradition for Yapsor, he will take the most gold possible at the very beginning of the game. And that's fully completed Tranquils, I believe, for him right now, actually. Already this early, not opting for those earlier Soul Ring builds.
Okay. We'll have to watch and wait and see how that goes for him, but obviously in this top lane as well, Nisha and the Witch Doctor just going to try and lay out whatever damage they can, but there is a wraparound that's coming up top as well, as we do see Yapsor move over into position to try and save Puppey, who again was just taking a beating.
Puppey's just like, can I please just get to level 2? I can get this double heal action going on where you can really abuse some mechanics. But he's struggling to get there. Just one more creep. Oh, okay. Life's good now. Oh, and we'll have a pause just to consider exactly. Of course, we got some sort of a technical issue there for the teams that they'll work on. But yeah, Secret keeping the cards close to their chest throughout that draft, right? Some questions of exactly what was going to happen with this IO as they started picking through their heroes. You weren't exactly sure where he was going to wind up. Is he going to be the core? Is he going to be the support? It was kind of sketchy throughout it, but then with that final pick in the Earthshaker, they did fully confirm that it would be this core IO once again. And you heard Sunbi say after their first game earlier today while they were playing it, he just said, yeah, you know, it's Nisha. He can play it, so we play it.
Totally.
Very, very firm response.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like, it sometimes just comes down to that. The player feeling confident on a particular hero saying, I can do this, I can win for my team, understanding the matchup and making it happen. You can see already 79% win rate here at this tournament for the IO. That is absolutely insane.
IO and Alchemist. Whew. I don't know. I look forward to seeing if someone can defeat it, because for me, this core IO has just looked ridiculous. As far as I know, the core IO hasn't lost. It's only been support IO that's taken the nosedives there, mostly with like IO Gyro and stuff, who isn't quite the same matchup it used to be.
No, definitely not. And I think a lot of that comes down to the change of the Aghanim Scepter talent. But, you know, these core players, they're saying, all right, let's just pick up that Aghanim Scepter, get ourselves farming away like crazy, and then eventually we're going to be able to take over this game. Oftentimes, though, that does sort of go hand in hand with a lot of other heal, which is why you're seeing that Witch Doctor get taken here for the Voodoo Restoration later on, as well as the Omni Knight having some more spam out there of the heals and status resistance and all that other good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we talked a lot about Secret's draft, but on the side of Liquid too, I feel like I haven't seen GH play Earth Spirit in a while. He was picking up at Epicenter, but at least I haven't caught any of his games here where he's been on the hero, but this is one of his big ones, right? This is like his top 3. I think he's even played it more than his Keeper of the Light, which is one of those like most iconic ones that you even think about when it comes to GH. So the man's got a mean green machine, and currently after Zai there, whew, the blocks.
Seeing if they can get the rundown, but it's not quite going to happen. They have the Split Earth afterwards if they manage to hit it, but Zai just gets on his little tippy toes and walks away. Ain't no problem.
And yeah, those Tranquils do indeed get delivered to Yapster in the mid lane, so going to use that newfound speed to rotate around here.
Weehaw comes in with his other Meepo and able to try and scare some of those last hits, but so far mid one 13-6, just giving him the business here in the mid lane. And Arcane Orb trade-off there as Yapstart moves into position. They killed off Zai elsewhere.
Yeah, we were watching mid, of course, because you can see they're obviously going for that gank, but looks like Zai goes down after salving back up. Had only used one more Tango, so hadn't quite gotten back up to full HP there, and Miracle finds the kill with GH.
Weehaw definitely knows that Yapstor is over here. He has not shown back up one of the other lanes and can anticipate that this movement is over from the Earthshaker, but mid one not wanting to go, fear of reprisal. And IO up top.
Yeah, kind of quite a bit of harass onto him, but in the end, you have to get that like perfect chain stun lockdown happening there. As long as you know he has the tether up, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Absolutely. Up that ring of Silius as well as Yapsor again going to make this move up here towards the north. The pull gets off, and Yapsor trying to make things happen, was able to get that early kill, but now kind of just regulated to running around with Tranquils trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, he's going to check the rune. GH rolled all the way home, and so he's now going to TP back down to the bottom shrine and then roll to check the bottom rune. And the 50-50 coin flip goes the way of Yapsor. Secures a haste rune in the top and immediately starts rushing his way there. Pretty fearsome trio. He wants to try and find something.
Could be nice for him. Already getting the spirits rolling, but he's heading back towards mid again. So yeah.
It looks like he's trying to find Kuro, right? He's checking inside that Radiant jungle. He's like, are there stacks in here? What are they doing? But Kuro, well, he's in the Dire jungle, and he is actually spotted by an Observer Ward, so they do know that he's up here.
Yeah. Soaking up some of that experience. Kuro already level 3. On the Chen, off to a hot start, has that headdress as well, so he is pretty farmed. And right now, it's mainly just Yapsor that's sitting bottom of the pack in terms of levels, just level 1 still.
And you're gonna have mid one take over in terms of the net worth. I know the last hits are back and forth, but you've got yourself a Meepo who's in the jungle, right? So as much as we see the last hits being close, you know that you're getting more when you're getting those lane creeps as long as the numbers are even. The problem is soon the numbers unlikely to be even, right? Great denies there from mid one to try and slow down the XP gain of the Meepo, which is always important, but it's Meepo time. He's already stacking camps right now in that jungle.
And that's why you see the trade-off there of 3 bounty runes over as well for just the 1. of Secret. More emphasis on the lanes, it feels like, for Team Secret, while Liquid taking advantage of the other resources around the map. And Mind Control level 4, the first wave of catapults coming in, and Chen in the area. Does feel like they could get a little bit aggro.
He's putting a message down. Observer ward. We're going to be busy up here. That's what that says.
In the meantime, though, tethered up with Puppey. They're not really that afraid, and the overcharge comes out. While the cast bounce hits onto a creep. Very long timer on the stun for that one. And again, relatively slow start. Does it feel like you need to get a lot done with the Chen early on at this point in time?
I would say it's almost like the 3 heroes almost feel that pressure of the Earthshaker, the Earth Spirit, as well as the Chen, right? Witch Doctor sitting in lane feels good. That's what you do. Keep my carry going. But these other heroes, like you feel like you have this potential, you know? So when I'm not making these big plays, I get a little bit dismayed. I don't know if they are right now, but they understand their game plan right there. Most likely playing for that 10-minute mark where we have the double tone come out. There's not as many concerns as there used to be for getting that XP with the double tone for supports like this. So probably just going to be a little bit of a slow one here as Meepo, at least because of that, is going to get a lot of space to farm in the jungle.
And you did see no boots build for Weehaw, going for the quad Wraith Bands, picking up one of those couriers, since they did have the ward spotting out the direction of their jungle. And still only 200 gold behind the OD after this laning stage.
Yep. So what I do like about the Shaker versus the Meepo in this sort of a matchup, though, will be if he can just get a Fisher block onto the Meepo and just give like a little bit of space to the OD, that Stanley's is still gonna be big, right? Okay. We talk about like Meepo still does buy a bunch of stats, sure, but he mostly buys Ed. You know, maybe the Scythe and Savvy get a little bit of int here and there, but you're stacking quad Wraith Bands right now, so there is a chance if mid one gets those big items that he can still blow them up. But the problem is if Meepo gets the initiation, that's be bad news bears.
Yeah, particularly around like that hex timing or whatever, and Weeha's completely been obstructed so far, it feels like. Mind Control still sitting back, can hold on to this lane, keep it under pressure and make sure that they don't get too much onto the tower as Kuro in a little bit of trouble with the Maledict down, the Paralyzing Cask as well. Chase comes, but the heal, good Fissure to interrupt, so they still try and run him down, but they pulled in Miracle, and that's going to be enough to find the kill onto Puppey, though Kuro will fall. Both captains go down.
Yeah, good Fissure there to cause the balls to just kind of like stack up like that, right? It was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Clapped it onto a couple of them there with the help of the Maledict.
But another nice part of that Chen, of course, is the ability to pull in heroes. And, well, Puppey, you came to the wrong neighborhood, mister. It's
guys,
just going to run at him.
They might have a ward. Just throwing it out there. It was nighttime, so I think he thought he was safe from the creep vision. And instantly punished there. So that's going to be some tower pressure. And they do have BSJ's boy in the dead lane. It's the Tide. I mean, you plant this guy there, most dangerous part of the map. That's where teams maybe like to rotate down, trade that tower. Tide, he's going to be okay. Yeah. He can set up the counter rotation because you're using that Chen, like you pointed out, to bring a hero in. What does that mean? That hero still has a teleportation scroll. So you try and go on this Tide Hunter. He gets that Kraken off, and suddenly, release the Kraken. Y'all get comboed by his allies TPing in.
Release the Kraken indeed. Ravage, obviously a terrifying ability at these early goings. Kuro can do that pull in if they need to, if they want to defend that tier 1 tower. But for now, at least, Liquid just going for a little bit of an invade of the jungle as they find Nisha coming back in.
Always slippery.
With that relocate, and now the chase down coming from Zai as they look to find follow this one. Paralyzing Cask only going to connect on the Miracle, but that might be a nudge because, well, the rest of Secret is here.
Yeah.
And they kill him off.
Close to find that kill on the Nisha, just not able. He like tried to next level the play, I think, with the split earth. The Nisha just went like right towards the Leshrac, thinking hopefully he doesn't stop his own feet. So they instantly deward the Observer that was there to try and keep an eye on Nisha farming because they know how the strategy works. They've seen several teams do it. He just wants to be in this little triangle, or, well, I guess it's quad. Of course, we usually think of the triangle down here.
Correct.
This can be a rhombus or something. I don't know. I need some geometry classes. But either way, that's where he's going to be. Trapezoid. I think it's a trapezoid. I'm going to go with that.
You're so good at math.
Thank you. I'm a geography, which is very close to sounding like geology. Wait, what? That's not the right one either.
It's beautiful.
Geometry. I knew I had it.
So 3-3 so far. It is kind of an interesting little dynamic too, using that relocate to be able to get back to base, pick up some more items. Of course, now Nisha having that completed Helm of the Dominator, he's just going to start running around and finding GH. Pearl Boulder not going to quite get there in time to interrupt, but it will still punch.
What a strat. Anna, what have you done? I mean, this Mud Golem is just hoofing it. Look at him go.
He's a monster. Terrifying, terrifying.
It kind of looks like Slacks when he's late to a segment. That's pretty much how he runs around the arena.
You're not wrong. Oh, God. Well, already the kayak completed now for the OD. Miracle in the mid lane, trying to push this one out another time. And again, you look at this lineup, wanting to make stuff happen early. You've got the 4 points up in Diabolic. You've got the Chen creeps there to help soak up damage, as they are going to rotate now. Move Zai into the area, and that kind of puts the kibosh on the pressure.
Well, I feel like Zai's been playing down there for a long time, too, with mid one, right? Where they were maybe hoping to force this tower, couldn't find anything up top. Now Puppey forced the toss with the Maledict.
A little bit of a net moving in. They will finally collapse there onto the Witch Doctor, who will just get dropped. Weehaw finding the final touch.
And they're still pressuring mid. I mean, they're grabbing a kill off top, but it's not necessarily slowing down the rest of Liquid. They are keeping that Edict pressure on. They say, bring all of your heroes or we're not stopping.
Moving in for it. Do they get the deny? At the very least, they will. Omni Knight Zai makes it happen. Now the Magnetize on his Emerald. Move the Heavenly Grace, but mid one just drops. They find the kill, and now Zai trying to turn this one back around. Miracle is still living with a decent mana pool. Echo Slam connecting, but it's not enough damage. Weehaw lives through it. They roll through again, and Liquid making it happen. They take down Yapsor as well, possibly running through the trees, trying to run away. They know he's in there, and the net's eventually going to find the kill.
So GH winds up with the double kill as he takes Zion. Yapsor, Kuro gets the kill onto mid one, and Weehaw takes the kill onto Puppey. So Secret dropping all over the map. And hey, you know, not even just tier 1 tower damage, they're going to take some damage onto tier 2.
I mean, this is...
hello? Anybody?
This damage coming out from Meepo at this stage of the game. They just use Echo Slam. This is 11 minutes now as they pressure onto this tier 2 tower.
I mean, Mind Control's still sitting here with Ravage.
Haven't had to use it.
They know there's no sanities.
The net.
This is looking like some Alchemist Dota.
It is a monster. They just take that tower, back out afterwards.
Pressure on Yapsor. I think this game is trying to get that Blink. I mean, the Blink's not an end-all, be-all sort of an item here, of course, versus the Meepo. You still need a lot of follow-up damage, but he is racing towards it, already up to 1,250 gold.
I mean, in a way, it just feels like the bigger thing he needs to is just levels. Like, getting up to that level 2 Echo, if at all possible, which is obviously a far way away. He's the lowest level in the game, though. They just don't have the control or the damage to deal with it. And another tower taken.
I feel like I see a bunch of Liquid gather around a tower, and it falls, and then instantly they're just somewhere else. Yeah. Right? This Chen, he still has Divine Favor ready for any of these Meepos if he needs it. GH is actually going to TP top to try and support Weehaw, but he doesn't even need it. He just solo killed Nisha.
Dude, this is...
That's a lot of gold.
This is disgusting. They're just running it over and over. And again, this is before that first big item comes from Weehaw. When he gets the E-Blade, the amount of damage that you pick up on it is absurd.
I am definitely a big fan of the position 1 Leshrac, something that China's been doing quite a bit over the past couple months, right? They love to flex this hero across all the roles and all the lanes. I mean, this guy, probably the only true hero I feel like that can be played 1 to 5 right now. And it feels good to me. It's just the ability to pressure like this and just take down towers with such ease gives you so much strength into that mid game if you can keep it.
Fissure for what? As Liquid take a 5,000 gold lead at 13.5 minutes. They have not taken their foot off the pedal, and Secret have not come up with an answer. Well, now the question becomes, where do you go from here? Possibly up towards that tier 1 tower, I guess, invade the jungle. Do you need to set up Feroce this early?
Right, well,
what the hell do you do?
Secret, they know. They've seen the IO, right? Okay. We've had games exactly like this. The first games that the carry IO came out, I heard Grant and Kyle and BSJ, and they're just like, guys, they're really losing with this core IO. How does this thing work? And, well, eventually it kicked into place, right? And just get the level 15 talent. Once you have the Aghanim Scepter, those are massive tools to actually get some damage out from this hero. So, Secret, they're trying to get there as fast as they can. Taking away this space is super important because knocking down towers makes it harder for Nisha to farm, so that's partly why he's so far down on the net worth chart.
This is so important right here as well. Moving in and taking the first Roshan.
There's no way they're getting in on this one.
I mean, the Meepo being able to pick up this Aegis is just so key. And actually, Puppey might just die. He's getting hit by an illusion. You can poof onto those afterwards. As Puppey going to get controlled up for the moment, as GH still has him in his sights, and they're going to be able to poof in afterwards if they want. Yeah. As Roche already goes down, Weehaw finds Puppey, and now an Aegis, an E-Blade. Weehaw is doing whatever he damn pleases.
All right, so E-Blade, this game, what do we have? Yapsor, oh, he's still 400 gold away-ish from that Blink Dagger, so Planetfall gonna have to figure it out pretty soon here. They want to stay in this one. Mid one's BKB, gonna be a good tool to try and actually fight into these engagements. He's still gonna be backed up by Zai there on the Omni. He's trying to split push, get away from this, but you can see, I mean, I think 37% is a little generous considering like the pace at which Liquid are going, but that's basically the idea of respecting the high ground, right? It is hard to go high ground versus some of these heroes. But mostly it's just hard to not give away big streaks as Zai.
I mean, look at this damage that comes out. He's just going to get rooted afterwards. They have the E-Blade there, continuing to control this Omni Knight as he tries to hide away. And, I don't think that this juke is eventually going to work as they find Zai and kill him off. I mean, right now, the Meepo has 150 damage base. That's more than any of the heroes on Secret. And he's got a bunch of them. He's got more than a few, Trent.
Yeah, he's got a whole crew. Oh, the whole crew also going to run into mid one here. Who it's
oh, God, not again. Mid one trying to run. Mind control. He can chase down with the Ravage if he wants to. He knows there's no Astral. Mid one in a pickle as they run him down. Ravage going to be used. Split Earth afterwards. This is destruction.
I am a fan of that Ravage. Don't give him any opportunity for some big sanities on you because you got 27 int right now. No thanks. Finish it off, set up the split earth easy, take us high ground, and you know that guy's going for a BKB. He just bought out.
They are owning and taking down the tier 3 tower. Nisha just hoping to try and hold off, if at all possible. Still 500 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter on the IO as Liquid hit their timing just that much harder.
Wow, I can't wait to see how strong IO Aghanims is. Because if it can bring you back from this, it is truly busted.
And they're trying, they're hoping. They're waiting. Creeps are coming in just a moment, and Weeha still holding on, not at all afraid.
I mean, Nisha is relocating the farm waves.
Okay, the Fissure already thrown out. They used the Death Ward, but there's nothing there for the follow-up. Astral used as well. Now mid one in a lot of trouble. Is they're healing back up from the ransack. They're not doing enough damage. Is it quite enough? They can't even kill him off once. Hand of God comes out. Secret is getting completely run over.
The balls are online.
Are you kidding me? Possibly. They need it. They need it right now more than anything. The roll through as well. Zai, they try to take down Weeha. He is going to pop. But in the meantime, Secret now. Can you kill him a second time? Round 2. Ding, ding, ding. And Secret not ready for the fight.
He's trying to drive them back, but indeed they will have to just give up that mid lane of Rax.
Zai gets the deny at least. Some small
solace. Oh, Liquid? Oh, okay. I like this. They want to test it themselves, I think. All right. How good is this thing? You know, what can Nisha really do here? They don't have Ravage. They do have the pipe, though, on mind control. And I believe, as you saw earlier in the IO game, it was about 90% of the damage from Nisha was magical.
It's a scary moment. They're scouting with that Helm creep. And again, how often have we seen teams fall to the high ground push?
Well, they didn't fall that time. That's for sure. But there will be some more high ground pushes out here from Liquid.
And I think that's why you see Liquid hold back there. You know, wait for your next round of items to come online. They've already got a 10,000 gold lead. They've got the Aegis a while ago. They're ready to go again.
Yeah, next big items will be the BKB for Miracle, so he can try and play up in the fights alongside Weeha, who is going for that Scotty to give him some more balanced stats here.
Uh-oh. Mr. Zai. They don't quite catch him, but Weeha now spots him out, and the root's going to be there. Zai is also going to be in trouble as they will just beat him down into the ground. Team Secret just getting rolled on by GH and Liquid as a whole. They came to play today.
Oh, they did indeed. Is Nisha still just struggling? I mean, he's the big thing, right? You just want to see, can he get to 15? Can he add that additional spirits damage there?
It's going to be a grind, but it does feel like this possibly could be the answer for the IO draft.
Oh, just play meatballs?
Just hit harder.
play faster is certainly, I think that's what we saw tried earlier today too, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. I thought they were going to try and play faster, and then they last picked a Medusa, so that was not what was attempted by BG Gaming. Liquid kind of flipping that last pick here with the Meepo instead, and indeed playing very fast. I mean, they kind of telegraphed it even with the Leshrac and the Chen, right? If you knew what was coming here. No surprises for Team Secret.
Well, right now, IO about 800 experience away from getting that level 15 talent. And he is going to TP back now to try and help.
There's a
hold
tome in the base. I think
high
it's his.
Yeah, that's what that's going to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Puppy. Oh, Puppy even buys for him. Wow. The support life, I tell you, in a pro game is really rough.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? In this game, very emblematic of things being rough. Well, I mean, does it really even make that much of a difference
I don't know. I want to say no, but I don't want to doubt this thing anymore.
You've been burned one too many times by the core IO. I mean, it's a Scotty done on Weeha right now. He is so far ahead. Another 5,000 gold item above the next core on Team Secret.
There's just really big timings coming up, right? The BKB, the next Aegis, all of that should be coming together for Liquid. I don't think anything in that same window will be as powerful for Secret now the IO has already reached level 15.
Right.
So if you're Liquid, you just hold out, control the plateau, keep both those mid and top lanes going in your favor, control Secret, use the lanes for information, as well as these great wards, by the way, that are just outside the Secret base, right? It is spotting exactly what they're trying to do. They know when they're going up to top the farm. You can see they're trying to de-ward right now from Secret. Maybe wondering exactly how Liquid know what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, you need to just try and re-establish map vision, if at all possible. But so tough to make happen against this lineup.
And yeah, Miracle nearly into that BKB. Mind control now with the Blink Dagger there too on that Tidehunter. And even GH has almost completed his BKB.
Yeah, this is terrifying. They have it on the OD, like you're talking about, but it doesn't feel like it's really going to be enough at this point. They need the Sanity's Eclipse to be huge. YapzOr is getting closer to that level 12, which again could make a bit of a difference, but that's predicated upon Meepo being in a position where he's going to get echoed poorly.
I mean, for reference, he's got what, 100? He's got 112 in there. Quick maths, no problem. On the OD, and our Meepo's way up there. He's at 91. So it's like Sanity's does nothing to Meepo.
Yeah.
Is the point we're at here with all these. Like, it's little bits of int all the way, but it's still a lot more than most heroes get, especially most Agi heroes, right?
Yeah. Well, and now the one plus side of this, if your Team Secret...
You found a plus side. This I'm excited for.
So, oftentimes, you know, BKBs, they get countered by the Earthshaker because he's got that instant initiation. And now, speaking of which, YapzOr back behind. He can jump in if he wants to. Thinking about it, be sure to open up GH. The Echo Slam. Is it quite going to be enough? They have the Ravage to try and turn it. Weeha so freaking low, but not looking quite low enough. They do manage to kill him off, but they lose the Earthshaker and the IO. Mid one falling low. The Hip Stomp, it connects as well as they all are getting torn apart. Nisha ended up buying back into this fight, and Miracle trying to take him down. Is it going to be quite enough? Fuel Scepter lifts up at the very last second to keep Miracle alive. Puppy wanting to take down the mid from Liquid, and he does die to the Maledict. 3 gone. Zai, the last one left alive, but the buyback comes. They know there are buybacks coming from Secret.
Jeez, Puppy played his hard on that fight. He actually did so much damage on the Witch Doctor, 4,798. He was only second to the OD.
And now the jump forward, looking for a bit more. They've gone a bit too far, though. There's a fissure to open it up. They find the rolling boulder stun forward, and
they can't do it again. It's too much.
It's far too much. Weeha taking a lot of damage.
He's got 27.
He's trying to make it work, but it's not quite there. YapzOr needs another fissure. The chase forward, looking for the finish, and my man Mid One with one last Astral, desperately trying to hold on. He does manage to get the walk away again, but the root's there. Turn around the BKB. He's actually living through this one. Mid One, can he do it? The right click's coming through. It's all too much damage. And Weeha can just walk away again.
It is very cathartic to watch this IO strat be defeated by a Meepo with 30 HP regen. I'm not gonna lie. They just don't have the damage. If they don't have all of their tools available, there's no way they're gonna kill him. And so you just see this Meepo living with the Divine Favor, and I'm like, you know what? It's a little gross, but I can live with that. If it's versus the IO, because that has been the bread and butter of this strat, getting the IO to that ridiculous agonist and then buffing someone up to a degree where they're just unkillable.
And right now, needing to come up with an answer to their own. Team Secret, Liquid just going to run into the pit and try and finish off Roshan. In the meantime, Nisha can go for some split push plays with the relocate, but this is another Aegis and now Cheese on Liquid as they find YapzOr. The one hero that was supposed to be a solace for them, but is not, as Miracle pops the BKB and is just gonna walk at him. Secret don't really have an answer as they chase forward, find the splitter there. A quick jump in for the save coming from Nisha. As they get the fissure, the follow-up is there. A lot of damage onto Mind Control, who is starting to drop with that Maledict down. Might be enough for the Miracle. Also, very far forward. They do manage to bring down the lag.
It looks like MC will get out. Oh, Kuro's found.
Okay,
All
another
right.
follow-up.
They found themselves a fight without their Meepo. Perhaps Liquid just a bit too ahead of themselves. They're going for some kills. Of course, they do also have plenty of time left on this Aegis and Cheese, and you could even argue these guys are up there just ensuring that nothing was going to be interfering at the same time. So not the worst for Liquid. Still obviously a gargantuan lead, but it is some solace for Secret to get a couple of kills here and know that they can bring down these heroes surrounding the Meepo.
Well, and again, it was a buyback that came earlier from the Meepo where they didn't manage to get the other set of racks. So possibly a way that you could see a path to victory with Secret having all of their abilities up. But again, there's a tier 1 tower mid. It's just so hard to keep the pressure on. And
so you don't have to kill him 4 times.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, he's passed off the Cheese to Mind Control. So there you go. So Mind Control just making sure that he won't have any mana issues with the Sanities, I would reckon is one of the big reasons for this. He's even got a Mango now. Mind Control's got the big brain plays here. The watermelon, the mangoes, keeping a healthy diet for himself. And there is a smoke here from GH2 as they push out the lane. So yeah, they're going to pop that. Head towards the Dire Jungle.
Let's see what they can do. Liquid, at this point in time, wanting to hit Secret where it hurts and see if they can get that second set of racks.
Miracle in his natural habitat here, lying in wait. See if someone wants to poke at this wave and give him the old Yules.
Puppy walking around just cool as a cucumber. I would not be that cavalier with my movement if I was in this game, but... Well, the jump forward, and that's why Ravage connects onto all of them. They are going to be able to find the silence afterwards onto Zai, so no hope for safe. GA comes out finally as they try and get a turnaround. Roll forward coming from GA to control the rest of the fight. And E-Blade is there to make sure that none of the Meepos go down. Zai is control. Liquid still running forward. A buyback comes from the Witch Doctor. But with no OD, Liquid have a path towards victory here. They're going to take down another set of racks.
Get your IO strat out of my game. OD, no buyback. Weehaw, everything.
Find it everywhere you want. An ultra kill for Weehaw, who continues to just run ransack through this game. They're going to give him the rampage. No, stolen away by Miracle. He has to take one for himself this time around. As Liquid do not look phased in the least bit. No buybacks on any of these heroes. This is only Nisha and Yapzor left to defend. Tier 4 towers being assaulted. Ladies and gentlemen, stick a fork in them because at least for this game, Secret are looking done as GG is called. My God, that was dominant.
Team Liquid, I can tell you there's nothing Weehaw want to do more, I'm sure, than play Meepo on this stage. Brought back here again from the Shanghai Major. Last time he was up here and competing, and finds himself another victory. Liquid remaining undefeated as they move throughout the lower bracket.
I mean, that's really one of the craziest stories ever. Could you imagine the run? You think back again to this team's TI7 run, and it was the same type of thing, being dropped down so early on in the bracket and making that amazing run, and here even more so.
It's impressive to try and handicap yourself one round further. I have to give them credit. It does explain those group stage games.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see what happens in game number 2. But first, we got to head back to Shiva and the panel, see what they thought about that game number 1.
Yes, thank you very much, Trent and Lyrical. What a dominant performance from Team Liquid in game number 1 of this best of 3 series. The winner will move on to be in the top 3 and, of course, in the lower bracket finals tomorrow. Loser will be eliminated 4th place. And before I'm going to let you guys break down the game and talk about these two teams, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm petting Mind Control's head. He did a good job.
Oh, okay, great. I'm actually looking forward to hearing what the draft panel thought on that first game. Hey, Kev.
Hey, so what was really important is that if you're trying to beat the IO, what you need to do is make the game accelerate in a big way and prevent him from getting gold. So what ended up happening was in this first team fight at the 7-minute mark, Kuro here on the Chen ended up teleporting in Lash. Lash is going to appear right here in a second, so keep an eye out for him. He pops in. He's now level 6 coming from the safe lane. He had a lot of golden experience that he got from being in a dual lane where he got to pressure the Omni. And after he got that rotation kill, he instantly starts pressuring the lane, which is really effective. And more importantly, he rotates around, Puppy TPs back in and gets killed instantly. So not only did he rotate into this lane, but he also set tempo by killing him and killing this tower immediately afterwards. That's a huge advantage because now they can move through the jungle. And with this jungle pressure, if you take a look over here, we ended up seeing a relocate coming from the IO. So what they're looking to do is trying to see which of these camps IO ends up coming back into, where the place that he ended up coming back to was over here. Miracle missed a crucial stun, but he instantly comes back from Fountain and he's already at like 40% health, which is going to decrease his farm speed. And he ends up dying in this, but it's still very good because if you look on the map, everybody else on Liquid is still farming. They're getting their gold, and that's going to help them stay ahead of the IO. And now once he teleports back in, he's just running between the mid lane into the jungle to spot for the IO. They don't want to let him get any gold, and he wants to keep putting Diabolic Edicts on this mid tower. So he keeps doing that, and that's going to force secret rotations. At the end of this clip, the Omni Knight ends up having to teleport here, and they use their glyph. So in the next rotation over, look how many heroes are here. It's Miracle and it's a support. And when this fight starts, Meepo TPs. They're doing this tower push and they kill the tower with just 2 heroes. It ends up going well for them. They kill the OD and now they're just in a rundown situation. So they end up staying ahead, killing all the outer towers, and that means that the IO just doesn't have a place on the map to farm. And that's why he wasn't able to snowball this game.
And the draft utilizes gold so efficiently. They're going high ground at 18 minutes. There's no Ags on the Wisp. They have a pipe, they have a mech. Meepo has 3 Wraith Brands and an E-Blade. It's about as if, like, as far as peaking at a certain timing, the entire Liquid draft is built to crush by 20 minutes, and that's exactly what they did.
You can also see by Miracle's playstyle, they understand the Wisp a little. A lot of teams are kind of using the Wisp on Dire a lot better than Radiant because of how the jungle works with Spirits. You can pull 2 large camps much easier. So since he's a Radiant, he's playing in the Dire jungle and stopping him from farming.
Yeah, well, that's why they won the game. I'll send that back over to Sheever.
All right, thank you guys. Indeed, that IO did not work out the way that Team Secret was expecting to. And I mean, we talk a lot about the IO and we talk about the Chen. Weeha's Meepo definitely showed up on the main stage there too. And again, it was Weeha that got kicked right after the Shanghai Major. We haven't really mentioned that, but there's a little bit of beef there too. He got kicked right after winning the Shanghai Major, and apparently it was a rough one because it was 2 days or something before roster lock, and Weeha was forced to join a Misfits team of leftovers that, by the way, ended up coming second at the International. I feel like there's a trend here too, people getting kicked and or left out to dry. But a great performance by him, 12, 2, and 7 there, as you can see on his KDA.
Yeah, and I just love like how they did the lanes, right? Because usually you think about, oh, the 5's going to go bottom, the 4's going to go top. You had the Lesh Earth Spirit bottom, so you had kill potential. You had the Chen up top, so who went early head breath, no boots. So Tidehunter wasn't taking any damage because he always had the Ice Ogre. They just won both side lanes because they laned it perfectly.
And I'm glad we get a chance to really highlight Weeha's play in this, just because, he's a player that has had his moments of brilliance, and then, like, especially with Digital Chaos and what happened afterwards, people may have assumed that, like, oh, that was, like, a one-hit wonder. This sort of mid-players are going to be able to come back into the Tier 1 scene again. But, Blitz, you got a lot of opportunity with him. He can be kind of stubborn in his ideas about Dota, right?
Oh, yeah. He's maybe the most stubborn person I've ever met in my entire life. Like,
he doesn't look stubborn.
No, he is. He is. One time we did a scrim. I was like, Misery was like, "You got to talk to this boy. Like, I can't handle it right now." So he just leaves the room. And so I come to me. I was like, "Let's go outside and chat." And I was like, "You know what you did was wrong. Here's what he did. He bet a Midas on Quap. He died solo, and then he left the game in the middle of a scrim. I was like, you know you can't do that, right?" I was like, "It's not good." And he's like, "I know it's not good, but if you tell me it's not good, I'll think it's good." And I was like, what the hell kind of logic is that? And he said, my father's the same way. You see that car right there? It's red. If you tell me it's red, it's blue. 100%. That was the analogy he used. He refuses. If he thinks one way of Dota, he's going to, no matter what, you will not break his logic.
You think it changes now, though, that he's on a team with Kuroko?
No.
You really don't think it changes?
He just told me that the car was blue. It was like a red Toyota. Like, you think that this guy cares?
Apparently not.
Reality doesn't matter. So, so surely somebody else's opinion
he has
about
to
Dota.
he has to come to the conclusion first, is what I learned. You can like sort of guide him and trick him in a little bit of a way. Yeah. Like I just started straight up lying to him. But like you can get him there.
Well, it feels like Kuro, he's guided him to the right place, right? He's in the right mindset. He's lucky. He's happy.
I mean, they talked about it, right? He wanted that pure mid player, a player who plays these broods and these meepos. They just got a pretty much free game because it's Weeha instead of Matu.
Yeah, and that was only game 1. Now, I do think that this is one of the strats that, Secret wanted to try out once, and I don't think they're going to see it again. It's one of the strats that OG has tried a lot, and everybody has tried to theorize, like, what do you do against this IO core? Liquid thought about it. executed as planned our strategy, and here we go. So I'm thinking Team Secret's going to come with something different for the next game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I also don't think they're going to give Weehaw the opportunity to get that Meepo as well towards the end of the draft. Even if they have an Earthshaker, like the support Earthshaker is going to be good enough. I thought there was a chance they might have actually switched over to Core Shaker just to try and address the Meepo a little bit better, but that wasn't the case. And now Liquid just one game away from eliminating Secret like they've done so many times in the past.
Time.
I don't know what happened between Puppy and Kuro, but maybe Kuro is holding still a bit of a grudge.
I think he might be, but we're gonna take a short break because the International is full of surprises. We got another one for you. Special announcement coming up.
Long have my celestial brothers beckoned. But I abhor the blindness of the mortal plane. From the void, nothing escapes my notice. No secret lies beyond my grasp. Yet, soon I must finally step from my hidden bastion to wage battle alongside my brothers and save them for a greater cause to come.
准备好，凡人们，很快将会惊天动地，而我的时代也终将来临。
Void Spirit, and the rumors were true. Everybody was already saying, you know, at the start of the opening ceremony of TI, we saw the four colors, and it's like, well, we understand green, blue, and red, but what's that purple doing there? And the rumors are true. I'm happy, and it looks like he can teleport. I'm speculating. I felt like he can maybe not necessarily teleport, but like go into another plane. What do you guys got?
Honestly, I can't wait for another Spirit that's better than Storm. So it's been a great it's been a great 4 years. Let me just say. Let me just throw that one out there.
Now it looks like it has some, you know, usually when you have like a weapon like PL or something, you're going to be a carry hero. So, you know, to all the carries out there, who knows? It's looking good for you, though, possibly.
I have heard a lot of carry players complaining that none of the new heroes none of the new heroes have been going their way. So I think is that the voice actor? I think the Chinese stream actually has the voice actor for Void Spirit.
I think you might be right.
Cool.
There was some question marks there, but yes.
And we have Cap.
I think it, you know, it would be making
the
sense.
Void Spirit.
You got a core and a support. You know, you got Snapfire, and Void Spirit. What do you think of the name Void Spirit? Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, Earth Spirit, Void Spirit.
Grant, I know you're a lore master.
Indeed.
What exactly is the Void?
The Void. It is a dark temporal plane that many of us human beings cannot go to.
Okay. So what is he doing in the Void? What kind of things are there?
I mean, just like every human, he has to eat food, right? He's got an oven, he bakes some cookies, lives the good life out there. You know, it's a normal guy.
He's just a normal guy in a different realm of reality.
Get away from me, Cap.
I can't believe on TI main panel I got to talk to Grant about his lore conspiracies. Excellent.
All right, I'm sure that we'll learn more about Void Spirit as the time goes on. But we got to focus on this matchup. Team Secret is on the verge of potentially getting eliminated here by Team Liquid if they lose the next game. It is one game between them and sticking at 4th place, which, you know, it's not actually all bad for Secret. I know it sounds like they want to get number 1, but Puppy has never been 4th in his life.
Ever?
Ever. Not like he's been to every TI. He's been first. He's been second.
He probably wants to keep it that way then.
5th and 6th, 7th, 8th. He's been last, but he's never been 4th or 3rd.
Oh yeah, that Bulba, the Envy squad.
Yeah.
I always forget about that. I'm sure Puppy wishes we did too.
I'm sure everybody.
Has he ever been 3rd?
No.
Are we including like DPC events and everything?
No. I'm including TIs only.
Okay.
I mean, he's been to a lot of TIs, so you know.
A couple.
I'm sure he would still rather take 1st or 2nd over this newly found 4th that he is just one step away from being.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got to switch it up because we saw, if you haven't noticed, in pretty much every game today, first pick has been chosen by each team.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot who took the pick last time, but if you're not first pick, it feels like you're at a little bit of a deficit.
All right. Guys, here come the teams out again, ready for game 2, ready to battle Team Liquid, Team Secret, head-to-head in the main stage of the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Shanghai for the International 2019. Crowd cheering them on. And you know what? All games that we've seen from Liquid have been dominating for them. They have been crushing it. For Secret, it has been rough.
Yeah.
They have been behind. And to be honest, they have had a large amount of comebacks in all the games they played.
Yeah,
you can't really plan for that, though. Like, that's not a good strat.
They burned through their 2nd and 3rd and 4th chances long ago. They are a resilient team, at least, but they got to come in with a winning strategy this time around. I think that's what's so scary about this TI is there's so many of these pickups. Like we saw LGD lose to the Alchemist Chen, right? We just saw Secret losing to the Meepo. Like, there are so many of these gotcha heroes. And that's the advantage of picking up Weehaw, right? Is being able to have access to even more of them.
Yeah. What's going to change? Is it all drafting? Because before the series started, I asked you guys, I asked Grant, I asked you what's most important. You said timings is most important when it comes to these two teams. And we saw the timings of Liquid were pretty, they're pretty fast.
Yeah, I think Secret definitely wants to change it. I think they honestly look best when they have 2 to 3 late game heroes, right? They were first picking the Void. When they were doing stuff like that, you have an Earthshaker, you have this Enigma. You take it to the late game while still having an early game presence. I think that's best. And last game, you first pick an IO as well as an Omni. And it's like, you're probably not going to have these late game team fights because you already have 2 of your cores in the first 2.
Yeah. Well, we also talked earlier this tournament, we talked about Royal Roaders. We gave it a name. That is everybody after TI3, sorry Alliance, Navi, and IG. Everybody after TI3 that has won an international in the first try. And there's not that many people. It was Wings, GH, Sumail, and Thompson.
Yes.
Right?
It is a rarefied list.
Yes. Now, there's only one potential Royal Roader left in the whole competition, and that's Nisha. This is his first international.
I feel like that's such a special thing. It is in Korean esports to be one of one. That's where you're legendary. You did it in your first try. No one else will come after that like that. We have less than 10 people that have done that total. And that includes that random Wings thing, right? That they kind of fill up the list right there. But Nisha, I feel like he's played very well at his first international. Definitely has played at a top 4 level. What I actually think they need to change is they need to figure out a way to enable mid one. I think that's something that Liquid did really well in that draft. They took away the potential for him to carry. They made it so that when they took the Meepo, it was like the OD is not going to be a factor in the game. He can't astral dodge it out. When you BKB, he just gets on top of you and hits you. He doesn't really care about that insteal. They need to figure out a better way to get this guy online. He is, for the large part of Secret's run, he's been their superstar, and they need to let that show.
Yeah. He didn't even have that bad of a lane, right? But it's just the matchup in the game. Mid one showed he could play that, and then the problem is you die once at that middle tower, your game's just over right there.
Even the status resistance of the Omni Knight, which is supposed to be able to protect the OD against this Meepo who just gets ensnare after ensnare, just doesn't feel like it actually does anything for you.
Yeah, Nisha, mid one, this is his 4th international, by the way. On his first international, he did end 4th. So he's already been at this result, and he hopes that he can improve it. But to do that, he needs to win the next game with his team. Let's find out what's going to happen in Game 2 of Team Liquid versus Secret.
Team Liquid versus Team Secret. Game 2.
Welcome back to the next draft here. It's going to be a huge game. This is really important for Secret, especially after that first Game 1 defeat. How do they bounce back? Do they switch up their strategies?
Dude,
what do you do?
I don't even know how to get into the draft yet because the emotions going into this, right? Nisha was not a Wisp player before this tournament. You've now given away a game, facing elimination, knowing in the back of your mind that last year, who knocked me out of TI? It was Liquid 2-0 over Secret. The year before that, Liquid not only won TI, but they beat Secret on the way, 2-1. You've been here before, and you failed, and now your back is against the wall. I don't know.
I think it comes down to this draft. The drafting at this TI, I think, is like one of the most complex, probably.
Yeah.
Of many, like the most recent TIs. There's a lot of, on first pick, there's like, 2, 3, 4 heroes that are game winning.
Yeah.
On 10th pick, there's 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes that are game winning. So both sides, like both first pick and second pick, have advantages.
Yeah.
Both early picks and late picks have advantages. You have to pick your poison for both teams.
I think the panel touched on something important where Liquid is consistently their last picking Wee's hero, right? Secret, they keep going for Yap Source. Do you want to activate mid one here? Give him a chance to shine? I feel like that might be an answer.
Well, Kyle, it was pretty ironic that they instantly picked Weeha's hero in the first pick.
Miracle.
Oh, Miracle. Oh, okay. All right.
They usually, most teams have been running safe lane Alk. I think Miracle has played it on Liquid more than Weeha recently.
But Weeha will play it.
Weeha has played it.
You can say what you were going to say, Kyle.
Well, you're always wrong. Is that what actually?
Look, if there's a guy that can do it, all right, it's Puppy. The original Team Secret, right? You want to know something crazy? All 5 of those players, S4, Fly, No Tail, Puppy, and I'm missing one.
Kuroki?
Exactly, he's in the tournament there. Thanks, Gunnar.
What
they all finished top 6 last TI, right?
Yeah.
At this tournament, they're all again top 6. 3 of them are captains of teams in the top 4. Like,
pretty crazy.
You can't lose another game, sure, but this is a good way to start it off. I think ET is probably the best hero to early phase right now, especially for a team like Secret.
Well, this is kind of reminiscent of the OG versus LGD series. OG was running Alchemist, and on the other side, LGD grabbed Elder Titan, and they grabbed a lot of magic damage heroes, including a fast-building Veil Sand King. Do you think that kind of a draft was effective against the Alk? It seemed okay to me, but is it going to work here?
It was okay. I think Shadow Demon's better than anything else they can pick here. Creating illusions of Alk in the mid game's decent, but it's more the W.
Is it though? Because you don't get the radiance if you toggle it. Didn't you test that?
Yeah, but you do get his AC because usually the Alks go AC.
Good point.
So you can kind of counter his AC for the armor.
So you can turn off radiance while you're disrupted.
Yeah,
so you have 2.5 seconds.
spam it.
If you spam it, you can get the tick right.
Yeah,
right before you pop out.
It's the same mechanic as being able to BKB as you come down from a Yules, as certain stuns are underneath, like Ice Path as an example.
Yeah,
you
so
can
like
BKB.
for those, when you're in Yules, you're considered like a stun, so you can actually shift Q abilities. So you can just shift Q BKB, and it'll activate the tick before you're stunned.
Correct, and it's the same mechanic as you come out of Disruption, the Radiance is off.
Gotcha. Well, they go with the Rubik instead. Some good magic damage.
Dude.
A very early Darkseer pick, and this is going to make Shadow Demon look a lot more appealing. But Secret's got both supports, so they don't even have to ban it.
I love this pick. You know, we talk about Darkseer being super weak in lane. Well, you've just shown a relatively weak support duo in terms of the ability to lock down and kill a Darkseer. And in addition, it's one of my favorite heroes against ET. When you get a wall illusion, you steal his natural order.
Yep.
You now have what's arguably the best ability in Elder Titan's kit that your team now possesses. Plus, you can avoid the stomp so easily. You're gonna have how are you gonna stop an Alchemist running around at 700 move speed 15 minutes into the game?
You're not.
Well, one thing you can do, though, is you can delay his Radiance timing, right? OG had that advantage in a huge way. They got like a 10-minute Radiance. That way, when he was running them down mid, it was earlier than LG it was expected and could handle. So, hypothetically, pressure him in lane, delay his Radiance timing, then maybe that first team fight doesn't hurt as bad.
At the same time, we even saw in that series, LGD had a Shadow Demon, and his Purge wasn't doing enough. He purged the Alk, and he kind of just walks slowly for 5 seconds, and then he gets surged after.
Part of that was the LC, though, which was consistently cleansing off the Soul Catcher.
Yep.
And it kind of removes the
Even
ability.
in game 1, they had Shadow Demon.
True.
It was, but the first fight, he was level 5.
Yeah.
When the Alk first got his Radiance, because he didn't have his Tome delivered.
That's why you're first picking the hero, right? That's actually kind of incredible. You have the core item necessary to go start winning the game, taking towers, farming everything, and the enemy support is not able to ult you.
Yeah. It was a really fast Radiance timing by all means, though.
So
like
Secret's going to ban the heroes like OG picked, right, with this Darkseer.
Yeah.
The Ember is a classic one, and Spirit Breaker, they're both classic. I think back when they first changed Charge to be like based on your actual movement speed, Spirit Breaker Darkseer is like super crazy. Your Spirit Breaker would deal like 800 magic damage a charge, would deal 90 DPS a second. It was crazy, and now it's a little more balanced.
So is this gonna make sure that Darkseer's lane is just not gonna be as effective, basically? Not to mention like their mid-game stuff?
Yeah, it's the Spirit Breaker like helps the Darkseer because you have a tanky hero that can help tank creeps because they nerfed Darkseer's armor. That's like the one thing they've been nerfing. It's just -1 armor, -1 armor, minus a little health. But the Spirit Breaker has so much armor and HP that he can tank the creeps for you.
It's just concerning to me that Secret's draft right now has a significantly higher degree of execution required to win. You're facing elimination. You got to think about which team is more comfortable, who has the easier time playing Dota. A lot of the games, especially at this level, with the stakes so high, is about feel. Liquid, you Ion Shell your Alchemist, you follow him into battle. You have Rasta as well now. 2 easy point-and-click disables. Team Secret, imagine playing Magnus in this game, Gunnar. Like, so much stress, so much reliant upon you if you want to win your team the game. And same with an ET, you don't have these easy to land disables, a natural way of moving around the map early game to find kills. You're on the back foot. And Liquid once again have this ability to just hit 15 minutes and just go.
Like, let's say theoretically they pick some like Lifestealer right here, and they have a feeling they need to like just RP this Alk and kill him, right? Same with the Wraith King, right? They want to just RP this Alk and kill him. They haven't even shown their 5 on Liquid. There's still an Oracle in the pool for save. I think Shadow Demon's still in the pool for save. They have like all these saves that they can pick as their 5. That's still in the pick.
That's a great point because Secret right now, they need to burst someone. You need to kill the Alk to your point. If you just have a minor combo breaker and you can just negate the RP, negate the Earth Splitter, really any element of Secret's damage output, your Alchemist is going to survive. And then he's going to kill everyone.
And a lot of skeletons for a lot of gold too.
Yes.
Might be a nice advantage.
But it's a great point. You get it double as well. When they respawn, you kill him again for the bonus 36.
But on the bright side, Wraith King is going to give Team Secret the ability to push towers and pressure, similar to a Leshrac. Like, he can go...
So Kunkka, yeah, I was going to say, they're going to pick Kunkka. It helps. More so, it's for the RP. If he gets a boat during the RP, your Alchemist isn't going to take damage. And your first life is trading for the Wraith King's life. Usually the Wraith King's first life is going to be for your BKBs and for like half your health and damage. But now his first life is like 20% of your health. You don't even have to BKB.
Yeah.
You're respawning and
50% damage reduction for 12 seconds.
Like I love
10 seconds.
It's lower earlier. It's like 40.
Seconds. It's 40, 45, 50, yeah.
Still, it's a crap load for sure. They don't, I guess now that's like 2 frontliners too. Kunkka's also free to go different item builds. He doesn't have to go the Radiance build, so he could go like double Bracer Halberd really fast and be ready to fight.
And Secret's lineup is, it's necessary that they have this 2-3 formation in a sense, because you need to protect your Mag and your Rubik and your Elder Titan. You don't want to be in a scenario where they can immediately be jumped upon. And unfortunately, Liquid's draft is built to just get into the back lines. Alchemist, Kunkka, Darkseer, they welcome damage. And right now, Secret don't really have a proper damage soaker. Wraith King in theory is, but you're relying upon him to be doing the brunt of your damage. He's going to be empowered. He's going to be an ET. Like, your whole draft is built to get this Wraith King game. However, they will most likely be giving mid-1 overall last pick in this game. I think it's necessary, but man, it's going to have to be a hell of a hero.
And another thing Secret's lacking is almost all the ET lineups we've seen today and yesterday were based on magic damage primarily. Team Secret is like heavily into physical damage here between Empower, Wraith King, that kind of thing. So they have some magic damage, but it's going to be a lot harder for Elder Titans or to even do anything because he's got to get in melee range, which is more rare.
That kind of, it feels bad they banned their own Ember, I think. I think this would have been a good Ember game for Secret. And this pick's really hard because like you kind of still want another Empower hero, preferably, like a melee hero, right? So it's like you think of like Monkey King as an example, right? But I don't think Monkey King is going to do enough because if he ults on this Alk, he'll get searched out.
Yeah. That's a great point. And another reason I think the Darkseer first phase from Liquid is really intuitive. It's just such a great combination too. It might have its weaknesses as a hero, but when you combine it with an Alchemist, it looks like broken. Honestly, I think this is arguably the strongest opener you can have right now in Dota.
It becomes stronger because Team Secret chose their 2 supports, like you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
And the usual counters to this Darkseer have been like Oracle for the lane. You can purge his Ion Shells.
Yeah,
Shadow Demon for the mid game, right? For the purging of Ion Shell and Surge in the mid game. So you have these like support counters, and sometimes it's like carry counters, right? Like a Morphling is a counter because he'll completely free farm, but Morphling's slightly fallen out of the meta. and you want an Earthshaker with it, right? And you can't really fit an Earthshaker into a Secret's draft.
Yeah, and the Wyvern's perfect, right? It's the combo breaker you were looking for, but it's doubly effective. You can heal and put down, save your Alchemist from any sort of physical damage, and you have a BKB piercing interrupt. Like, it's crazy strong here. The Bristleback, in theory, you get to a point with Secret's lineup, we'll win the game. But Liquid, they're not looking to take this late. They want to push the tempo and once again be threatening high ground by the 20-minute mark. This is a challenge for Secret and a situation, unfortunately, they've been in before. I love what Liquid's got.
And on top of that, the Bristol's a lot of physical damage again. Similar damage types coming out of Secret's lineup. They've also got a save with the Cold Embrace, so they have some solutions here with the Winter Wyvern ulti. I think the Wyvern pick was excellent. I did not see it coming.
It's perfect.
It's going to help against RP. You know, even if the Wraith King goes BKB, you can stop him in his tracks, stop him from focusing this RP target, save your RP targets. There's a lot of stuff. I think it helps the lane as well.
Yeah.
You can just, you know, burn them down slowly, push it out for your Alk. You can jungle.
You always are going to end up in a 5-on-5 engagement in Dota 2 nowadays. And whenever I look at 2 drafts and see that, okay, if everyone casts their spells, game's even, there's a team that's just going to dominate team fights. And it's Liquid in this game. Secret have to buy time, continue to scale, and 30 minutes plus, maybe they can start to eke out an advantage.
Well, we'll see if they can finish out that advantage. And right before we jump into the game, let's hear from Roman on Team Liquid.
All right, Roman, we are seeing an Alchemist in a Dark Seer for the second time today. Were you watching the game this morning? Talk a little bit about your strategy here.
I did watch the game this morning, but to be fair, we played the same combination yesterday. So it's something we've played already.
I actually believe they admitted to copying that before. So why do you think this has been so successful for the teams at this TI?
I mean, first of all, there is no shame in copying if it's good. And they're just very synergetic. Everything that Darkseer offers to the game, Alchemist profits from it. I can't go into detail, obviously, but...
No, please don't. But you feel pretty confident based on how Secret drafted as well?
I mean, I have to say Secret's draft in Game 2 is way better than in Game 1 this time. So they will put up a good fight, I'm sure.
All right, thank you for your insight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck. Back to you.
Oh my goodness, gracious ladies and gentlemen, here on the floor of the Mercedes-Benz Arena, Trent, the coach, feels like it's a better draft for Secret. Do you agree? How you feeling?
I mean, it's Alchemist, right? It was IO before, though, and that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh, geez, I don't want to see this again. But now the Alchemist, I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed. I came back into the stage, I saw that big Alk on the screen, but it's okay. I like what Liquid have done, but I like what Secret have done, too. Okay. So we'll see if the Bristle that I've heard their coach talk so much about is going to be the actual answer here to it, but I have to say I am leaning towards that Iron Shelled Alchemist once again here.
I mean, it's just terrifying. You Ion Shell, you get surged around, you're running at like max movement speed, and basically at that point, it's all about you. You know, this is where this guy likes to sit, and mind control on this Darkseer, going to try and get off to a hot start. I will say that's one of the ways in which we've seen teams deal with Darkseers in the past is try and disrupt that laning stage, as it is Weeha playing on the Alk. As the battle for the bounty runes begin, Nisha putting up his hand for the high five, and a lot of damage being traded back around. Kuro in some trouble as the punches come from Buffy, but not quite enough. And in fact, Nisha's going to be the one that's going to be ran down here. Does he go down first, or is it Kuro as the chase continues? One more punch against our Fairy Fire. Kuro able to walk away, and now taking the shots over to the side as well. Now Yapster's gone a bit too far. A little bit of a clowny beginning to this game as Kuro's going to salve back up. And in the end, nobody dies.
And the bounty rune will just be waiting on the other side of the river for Secret, so it should wind up being 2 for 2. Now, one thing that we've seen as Wraith King and Alchemist both are rising in popularity has been those skeletons.
Tell me about it.
You get to that mid-game, those skeletons wind up in the wrong place, and Weeha runs into them. It is a stupid amount of gold for an Alchemist. You basically get the Grievel's Greed twice off of that whole army of skeletons, so depending on you know, the later this game goes, of course, as Kyle mentioned, Liquid are going to be looking to play very fast, but if we get into sort of an even-tempoed game, that is something that I think Nisha will have to keep in mind.
Absolutely, and of course you want to keep spamming out those skeletons because it's what helps you to accelerate so much in terms of farm. Mind control not quite pulled there back into tower range, but this one could be a little bit of a tough matchup for Zai if the levels start to build up for mind control. Ion Shell obviously level 1, the damage has been nerfed significantly, but still could be a problem as you get to the higher levels.
I mean, usually it's the Darkseer that cuts creeps, right? But you might see Zai just like going away from the Darkseer at points here in this laning stage. We've seen some off laners, or in this case, off laner playing in the safe lane, with creative solutions to some of these matchups like this, where the Darkseer, you know, he kind of has his gimmick with the Ion Shell, but it can be solved.
And this camp was body blocked, it looks like, as well. So, ooh, Zai actually losing aggro for a minute. We'll be able to pick it back up afterwards and still secure these last hits, but there isn't a hard camp to pull it to anyways. And Mind Control instead is going to pull his camp, or rather his creep wave back into the other camp. It's mid one, dropping somewhat low. Miracle trading hits with them. And does have a fair few quill stacks onto him. We'll see if mid one wants to try and push the...
Oh, mid one wants that bottle.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be
refilled
nice.
there too. So yeah, we'll be able to get over there. Big win for him in the mid lane here as he ups his regen. Of course, Kunkka has his own shenanigans when it comes to TPs and X's and stuff. So he'll be able to have his own sources in the regen battle.
Yeah, shouldn't run into too many issues either. Having that magic stick already online, 10 charges means he's got a ton of regen available to himself. So he'll farm out this medium camp while simultaneously being able to get back in time to defend his tower. The top lane, haven't talked about it a bunch, but it's a tri-lane on tri-lane.
Yeah, one of these, maybe start finding the sticks lanes, right? Team Secret already has 3. Meanwhile, I don't see any on the side of it. Oh, Kuro's got 1, but the other 2 are not rocking sticks right now. So the spell spam will be in favor of Team Secret. And we talked about this Darkseer pick coming in and the idea of just like, usually it's supports that counter it, right? As a mid one and Miracle continue to trade the mid lane here. Oh, Miracle even have to play it a little bit safe there with the X-Torrent.
Oh, it's close. He's at 40 HP. Gonna salve up afterwards, but does miss some last hits.
He did the math, right? But one of the reasons why they had these support duo picked up early is that I think YapzOr is just, this might be his last game at TI. If you had to pick a hero for YapzOr, what is it gonna be, right? There's no doubt. It's the Rubik. This is, when I think YapzOr, I think Rubik. He's taking it, possibly his last game. So, although it did open up to like some counter picks, I think it is a support that's going to get banned in that second phase if it looks relatively good in the match at all.
Definitely. Not only just the comfort on the hero, but it's not bad necessarily in this tri-lane either. Get the damage reduction onto all of these heroes, then you can trade hits more effectively. So far, so good for Team Secret. The one thing that we always need to keep our eyes on, though, is how much farm does Weeha manage to pick up? How can they deal with this Alchemist? As Miracle is going to step on over and pick up a very fortuitous haste rune and gives him the dance away afterwards.
Yeah, I'd say that's worthy of it. Denying a bottle and getting yourself out of a sticky situation there and some goo.
So again, 4-minute mark, still no kills. As some of these games have kind of looked like that no-rush 10-minute style of Dota that we became very familiar with in the group stages. But at least for my money, it feels like Secret are going to need to be the ones that keep that pressure onto the Alk and make sure they're also blocking out the camps so there is no stacks coming out there later on.
Yeah, even if he falls behind a little bit in the laning stage, of course, the Alchemist just looking for those levels so that he can try and gain while back in the jungle. And they have 4 very good heroes for making space across the map, right? GH, woo, that's a big crit.
A lot of stun coming out there. Chase comes through. They're sitting in the acid spray with the ET moving in. This actually might be First Blood, possibly needs the stun to come through. Not quite on the edge. And who else could it be but YapzOr picking up the First Blood?
All right, 2 games in a row. He'll take it. It wasn't enough previously, but we'll see if this Crimson will do it for him.
And 3 for 1 on the bounty runes with Mind Control in a little bit of trouble, but the Surge away should be enough. Skewer. Ooh, just barely off the mark.
Yeah, Zai's going for big plays. It's a level 2 Surge, so Zai's still going to at least get 1 more Shockwave on him, and his bottle's already used. Yeah.
Tempting, but not enough. Wasn't quite able to finish off Mind Control, who does just head back to the shrine now.
And Zai just getting level 6 after, I'm sure, maybe, but it is 200 mana, so hard to keep that one going before the Arcane Boots.
But a much better start to this game, it feels like, for Team Secret, as it does look like they're doing quite well in these levels. Now, Miracle does have level 6, as mid one is just going to try and keep outlast hitting him here in the mid lane, get 2 range creep denies while simultaneously leveling out that harassment. And it does look like it's going to be Invis Rune up top, spawning and picked up by mid one. It's alright. Still picks it up in the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're just to help protect too. So mid one with his level 6, he's making a bit of a rotation here. Dire Vision, they don't have anything nearby, but they will be able to just say like, hey, he's gone. And then if YapzOr shows in the lane, which he just did, then they're gonna know that something's up.
Yeah, need to be wary. Mid one, they drop down that sentry ward. It's not quite gonna be on the mark, and turn on to GH. is level 3, does not have any points up in the Cold Embrace. You can see Liquid, they're just playing so safe. They know that this could be coming. And mid one now just sort of hanging out for a little while.
They're scanning to see if he's jungling, right? In there, because if Bristle's missing, that's where he's got to be. But then he reveals himself.
Just is going to pull this creep wave back and now try and apply some pressure onto Wii. I really like this move a lot because Yapsor gets some time to himself, and now they can try and shut down this Alchemist's farm.
Yeah, and Weehaw, not a lot of options when he's stuck back here. He has a Quelling Blade, but Nisha, he's carving his way in there too. He's got the phase boots.
Does he look left? He goes right. Nisha not realizing he's over there to the side, and Kuro going to get the shackles. Now the TP rotation coming from Miracle, who's level 7. We'll be able to find Nisha, get the kill without even having to use anything from the Kunga, and now GH going to be the trade-off. So they can't quite manage to bring down Weehawk.
So, like, kind of even across the board in some senses. Like, you got a core, you got a support, but you're forcing rotations. Yapsor's getting that mid lane all to himself.
Oh, and Puppey gets caught there. He's going to drop down the boat afterwards. They did have an observer ward in the area, which should signal that they're going to need to get that D ward later. But in the meantime, Miracle picks up the kill.
Yapsor just continuing to farm it up there, while Zaya, I saw Mind Control was back in the fountain there. TP on CD. Nisha trying to make a rotation there with the RP.
Oh, nice little job done here as they get the full stun combo coming out. Mind Control skewered afterwards, but away from Nisha. And now the surge away. He does have another stun in 3 seconds, but there is another rotation coming from Yapsor as well, realizing he's heading off the other direction. They will have the telekinesis into the follow-up stun, and finally clean up the kill by virtue of Nisha.
And a regen rune for Zai, who's at 15 mana right now. I'm sure he is extremely pleased with that. So solid on the first RP there. Managed to grab a kill onto Mind Control. While Kuro is on a warding mission deep inside that Radiant territory. Gets a beautiful ward up there as long as he's not scouted on the way out. And they don't have any vision up in this northern part, so they probably don't know this has happened.
Now, Med 1 going to go for the south play underneath the tower. Does move back in now afterwards for the last hit. Manages to get it, but does he pay the price? Mind Control is here as well. They pull. No! The timing, and now the stomp to turn it. A little bit of a miscue there by Miracle. A rare mistake. They still get the kill.
Yeah, winds up being fine. There's just too many heroes. Now, Liquid have committed a ton of vision in this top area of the map now, but they've lost that tier 1 tower. I think they were trying to perhaps hold that for as long as they could, because if you keep that tower, you're going to keep forcing Secret up here because they want to knock it down so bad, because you know they want to be pressuring into your jungle. Now these wards being left behind are essentially there to scout when Secret are going to be smoking for the Alchemist kill.
But Elk right now farming out in that triangle anyways. And that is a lot of, not wasted vision, at least not quite as nice a vision as they might have wanted, but
it still spots things like courier rotations, right? So they know where some of the heroes are located based off of that. Nisha is heading in towards his Midas now with those 10-minute bounty rune mark. Top should go both ways to Secret, and bot Yapsor's going to try and hold one with his telekinesis. Mid one even going for the other. Okay, they're going for 4 bounties here to try and slow down the Alp.
And he walks back away, able to pick it up. Secret.
Very important. Great stuff there.
And now getting some extra aggro onto Miracle. 3 stacks there of the goo, as well as the chase down with the quills. Miracle trying to make his walkaway happen, and looks like mid one not going to tempt fate any further.
We talk a lot about LGD playing this like perfect Dota sort of style, where it feels like when you're looking at this bird's eye view that we're privy to, you have all these ideas like, okay, in order to shut down Alchemist, you have to stop him from farming the jungle. You have to bully him in the lane. You have to make sure they don't get any bounty runes. And I think Secret are hitting a lot of those marks right now. And although the Alch's on top, of course, it's not that much of a lead, right?
Yeah.
He's not the end-all be-all. Earlier today, we had the same situation, right? With the Bristle versus the Alchemist, and it did work out.
It's true. But the other little box that you need to check oftentimes there is not losing a terrible, terrible fight to the Alchemist afterwards.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and the one thing
we don't talk about the rest of that.
The one thing that I will point out is that it's 4 melee heroes right now against a Winter Wyvern with a Darkseer Kunkka afterwards. So you hit a big Winter's Curse, things start to look real scary, as we're already seeing those skeletons giving Weehaw the nice little injection of gold there.
Oh no, stop. That's the skeletons.
That's where things get tough, and he's happy about it.
Keep them far away from the Alchemist guy.
Nisha already having that Hand of Midas completed, now going back for the Radiance that we've seen all so often on this hero. And he's keeping up in farm right now with Weehaw. doing a very good job of it.
And I think Zai, too, also a bit of a standout here, right? Like, his farm right now, almost up to 5K. He's well ahead of Miracle as well.
As often is the case, YapzOr almost ahead of the opposing offlaner at 3,500 net worth. Going to be one of those team fight turnaround heroes if he can make it happen.
Yeah, he's going to have enough for his Aether Lens here if he can clean up these mid last hits. This mid one again, just dodge a torrent, but it will be a bottled ruin up at the top for Zai, who has an arcane and an RP available. Both of those observer wards planted by Kuro earlier on do still survive, so they're spotting that rotation now from Zai up top. They've been seeing Nisha farming here on the Ancients, and that's giving all the space in the world for someone like Weehaw to play freely. Kuro even acting as the vanguard here, up ahead of the Alchemist, in between any potential rotations from the side of Team Secret.
Everything from Alk.
Yep.
This is the way that people play Dota around this hero, and I really like that observer ward placed down on the right-hand side of the map. It's not scout out anything.
Mind Control is stealing the mud golems, though. Not cool. You know, you gotta leave those for your Alk. That's for sure. But what a waste. He just leaves one for Weehaw. He's like, why is this camp half farmed? That's an immediate ping.
You know what's happening. Yeah, but yeah, just look at this guy. Like, just a second ago, the Wraith King was basically on par with him, and now 1,500 gold ahead. It's so difficult to play Dota against this hero. And if you're Secret, I mean, is it just try and make a move now, shut down the rest of the map?
They don't really have the same tower push that you saw previously from Liquid, right? When Liquid were trying to play the super high speed, they had the Leshrac. Right. And they're just able to walk and destroy them so easily. Secret, it's a longer effort. I mean, how long has YapzOr just been mid? Like, shoving creep waves and everything, and hasn't resulted in that much tower burst. Now, he does get the level 4 acid spray, so quite a bit of damage. 7 armor reduction as well, while you have a burster back on your team is very good. And they do have the siege wagon of mid one, so this is your tower pressure. But even that, look, it's slow and it's very dangerous. Even when you're this tanky, he's alone.
Be careful, there's nobody else here, and all of Liquid shows up in numbers. Mid one's just dead.
And there it is. Still a 14-minute Radiance on Alchemist.
And he TP's up there to clean up the second round of skeletons that were pushed out. So Weehaw completely alone to do whatever he wants. And Secret needing to come up with answers, because right now they've only been able to take down that one top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, not getting the mid lane down, not able to occupy that dire jungle, just feeling like they can't fight the heroes on the side of Liquid right now, apparently. And even holding your own towers is simply not enough. I mean, Liquid have no tower damage.
Yeah.
I mean, they're under like 300 total. You know, it's kind of nothing. But they don't need to cross the river. That's on you, Secret.
Well, 15-minute mark's going to come in again, and Secret have done a good job of shutting down those bounty runes away from Weehaw. But we'll see if they can make it happen another time.
It's that fickle timing, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't hit it for Secret, you just one misstep, and this Alchemist is completely out of control.
3,000
more skeletons.
God, it's so much gold. Yeah, he's 3,000 gold ahead of the Wraith King now. He just keeps farming them. Still, though, only 1,000 gold lead in total. And as you can see, bounty runes about even. But it is that slow, steady drop-off that you can see in experience and net worth.
We're starting to find these contributors to the team fight picking up items, though. You have the Blink Dagger on Zai before he picked up the Vlads. He had the Vlads too for a long time. You have the Rubik already up into his Aether Lens, and now trying to go towards a 4-staff to try and break up some of this wombo combo that you see from like the Kunkka and the Darkseer, the Winter Wyvern, try and spread things out a little bit with your clumped up melee team. But meanwhile, on the Dire side, you've got Winter Wyvern trying to get in towards that Aether. She's not too far away when she breaks apart her Arcane Boots, but that's an excellent tool for the team. And well, Kuro's going to get some bracers as the 5 life decrease. So good ward placement, though, as it is keeping it far enough away from that Dire Sentry. So they do see what Weehaw's up to.
And if there is another nice thing to say right now about Team Secret, it's they're identifying some of the issues in their draft. They're trying to get those team fight items online like you're talking about, but also they've gotten some pretty decent farm here on Rubik. About to hit level 10. Also, Aether Lens, completely like you're talking about. And maybe that's going to be their goal, is have 4 heroes that all can fight when Liquid are mainly just playing around this Alk and see if they can possibly take down the big raid boss.
Yeah, it's funny to see Yapstorm just like
that's
not
a
even
iron shell.
Not even using the wow, that is a nice iron shell. Not even using the acid spray, right? He's just like holding onto it because he doesn't want to push it anywhere away from that tower because he knows he's in the danger zone. Just trying to find one safe place for himself. Oh, here come the Skelly bros. Ow! Hurry! The skeletons. Now Weehaw thinks there's a move coming here. So maybe just trying to hide a little bit with his BKB, but okay, here we go. Hello, skeletons. Oh, 32, 32, 32.
Just keeps on
coming. Oh, more skeleton. Oh, more 32. Oh.
They just keep on coming, man.
That's great.
That hero is so insane. But the smoke up coming out from Liquid, as it looks like they are ready to make a move themselves. They have the Spirit Vessel done for Miracle.
It's the BKB on the Alk.
It's very scary.
They have to try and kite this, or they need to blow him up before it gets popped. And it is so hard if this Winter Wyvern's going to be there covering him. The only saving grace is that they don't have that Aether Lens yet, but Liquid have done it. They have become their water and passed the river. They've gone upstream, finally. And at the same time, Secret are occupying that territory you hope they would, right? Getting into that big farm zone for the Alchemist as he holds the mid tower. Mid one looking to trade a tier 1 bot for a tier 2 top here.
Doing what they can. And as you can see, Weehaw holds onto that mid tower. They take down the bottom one. 18 minutes in. Still only 1,000 gold lead with the Alchemist draft. But it's starting to feel like maybe this group up is going to come very soon. Nisha already out there. They have the Torrent, going to connect onto the Wraith King, holding onto the boat for the moment. So they get the surge forward. They find Nisha left completely alone, and Weehaw going to be nearby as well. They take him down one time. Can they get him a second time? Nobody from Secret is here to help. They just bailed. They're like, Nisha, you're on your own, buddy.
I think they got him.
They're going for another round. Puppy, maybe in some trouble as Weehaw doesn't quite manage to get there in time. And we'll pick up the illusion rune, start to spread out the things. But you can see Liquid, they're just raring to go. They're ready to fight.
Look at this surged up Miracle right now. 4 points in the X. They are so lucky he didn't find anybody. Now he grabs mid one.
Oh, there's no shrine nearby either. Already throwing down that acid spray. They have the stun connection. Can they bring him down in time? They don't have the chemical rage, but I'm not sure if it's going to matter. Yapstor trying to play spoiler. They get a pretty nice, well, actually, RP. And now to turn it back around, mid one still barely living. We are trying to run him down. And with the Spirit Vessel, as well as the Radiance Burn, it's going to be enough to take down mid one. And I was wrong. The RP was not good enough.
The RP, the Earth Splitter, these spells just, they're a lot harder to hit than Iron Shell Surge.
You ain't wrong.
Little less skill involved and just as powerful, if not more so. They try and lurk behind the tower there, see if anybody wants to come and defend this, but yeah, it ain't happening.
And again, you talk about it, it's the ease of execution that you want to have in this lineup. Kyle talked about it on the panel that this lineup from Liquid, they group together, they buy the team fight items, get the BKB onto Weehaw, and just run at you.
And perhaps the most frightening of times versus an Alchemist when that Blink Dagger comes out, when he's getting close to level 15. Damage or health, however he feels the game is going. Both of those talents just helping him out so much.
Holding on to that mid-tier 1 tower still. 20-minute mark. Does look like Bounty Rune's going to be picked up. 2 apiece there. Secret actually able to get on that third one, so. Guardian Greaves done for the Darkseer. More regen. Yapstor in trouble. Jumps forward with the stun onto 2. Weehaw does not really care right now. Let's Steel Chemical Rage pops it immediately. Yapstor tries to run away. His Puppy is just going to get barreled underneath this tier 1 tower. They do manage to find the stun, but immediately afterwards, there's going to be the vacuum back, the pull in onto 2. Weehaw realizes the rest of my team is fighting and probably get together with them. As the surge keeps Kuro alive. Zai still chasing, wanting to find this pesky Shadow Shaman, but the Hex comes out afterwards, and now the heal coming through. Torrent is going to connect, but they managed to take down 1, and now Mind Control. His surge should be wearing off soon. So you can still go for the chase down. Do they decide to follow it up? Mid 1, looking for the punches. This is looking okay right now for Secret, but they can't quite find the finish. And now the buyback. Okay, they're coming in with the Shadow Shaman. He's got another round of Hex. The Stomp's going to connect. And it looks like with that Secret are going to try and retreat, but they find the X again onto Yapstor. Another 4-staff save in the day. Earth Splitter comes through. It's not quite enough. He's there. He jumps in again, finds Yapstor, trying to get that kill, and he will be able to get it. With the RP onto 3, but the turnaround don't have an answer. Torrent both gonna connect on Anisha after the stun. The walkaway happens in mid one, trying to be this big bad boss in the middle of it all, and he is doing a good chunk of damage, taking down GH just barely. No, he's able to walk away again. They can't keep getting away with this. Liquid making the fight last long enough for them to win it as they burn through the ulti of the Wraith King. And right now, Secret, they still can't take that tier 1 tower.
How about another X? This
The
time on
pullback
Anisha.
gets him again, and Magnus not able to save the day. Back out of the skewer. Where are you going? Get over here. As the torrent is going to land, Anisha trying to run again. Another round of those Spirit Vessels. Liquid, well and truly doing it.
These fights around the 20-minute mark, this Alchemist Blink Dagger are just devastating. He's just in and out of the fight. It's so hard to keep him locked down. They're trying to target those heroes on the side. They took down Kuro twice. They nearly get GH, but GH with a masterful winner's curse there to stop that big RP that came in from Zai. He caught 3, and he had Nisha right there, empowered on the Wraith King, looking for the damage, and then there was nothing.
And you can see Nisha's doing what he can. This has the Radiance going.
Yeah, let's just smoke him and go again.
Why not?
Got an Arcane Rune on our Alchemist. You guys done? You want to fight some more? Sure. This Surged Kunkka is perhaps more terrifying than the Surged Alchemist. This time he's going to have to do it himself, though.
Oh my god, and they find him. The Wraith King just gonna drop, and that is another thing. With Team Secret, you gotta fight around your cooldowns. Liquid, they can just keep running. And keep running they will as they find Yamsor, get the stun. Weeha just pummeling him down into the ground. The Force Snap is no savior here, sir.
Oh, and they're just gonna keep the group up alive. Vlad's Greaves done for mind control.
Wow.
Dark's here.
I mean, look at him, he just keeps popping the stun and running at him.
Yeah, Weeha has no cares.
This guy.
It was, what, 5 minutes ago where it was just Weeha and a bunch of Radiant heroes on top, and now suddenly it's Weeha, Nisha, and now Dire heroes. They have eclipsed past those on Secret who were near the top of the net worth chart. Zai has his RP back. Mid one has finished the Solar Crest.
As we talk about, you need those cooldowns, but in the meantime, when they are down, oh god, mid one, kind of away from the rest of his team. They do have Magnus behind him. Chasing, Nisha wants to get a kill. Shadow Shaman gonna be searched and go for the walkway. They drop the Serpent Wards down, and Weeha turns, finds the first kill on a Wraith King. Can they get him again? The Apsor trying to steal what he can. They already have the boat down, giving him that bonus, and now the X marks the spot. There's a pretty good combination coming out with the RP, but it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. It's not even close to enough. Zai trying to run. Weeha has him in his sights. Do they dive past the tier 3 tower? No. It's gonna back down to the low ground. Mind control. Cosplaying this Scorpion right now.
There's an Ether Shot here from Yapso, but not enough to do anything. And you highlight these heroes in the team fights. You know, he's got the Crimson Guard, he's got the Greaves, he's got the Vlads. They just have so many heals working on their side of Liquid. Perfect 5-man Dota items. And just weaving in and out. They know exactly how to play these team fights.
Well, and mid one right now is cutting creep waves, doing a good job of buying his team a little bit more time, as they do have to come back to escort their creep wave. Now you can see the swing. The swing back into the probability over the last couple of minutes. It's just been Liquid coming online, and well, now they have the shackles on the mid one. But they don't even feel confident trying to go at the Shadow Shaman.
I mean, they know that if Shadow Shaman is shackling your Bertzel back, there's probably more coming. You know?
So, Assault Cuirass done. So much gold into the coffers of Weeha, this 25-minute mark. And for Secret, it's just, it feels like it's just a game of holding out, trying to keep all of this pressure off of their base. And to be fair, they are doing a decent job of it, but what is that wait for? What's the turning point for Secret?
Yeah, the high ground defense is, you know, you've got the Magnus, sure, but your empowered hero, it's not this like Ember or this hero that really feels like you can do something. It's Nisha on a Wraith King here, and maybe he can get that incredible damage into the Empower when they're RP'd. It's just, I don't know, I feel like you're waiting for mid one to get into those wild talents later on.
Yeah, and you can see there on that graphic, just Weeha completely out of control, 9-0-2. At this point in time, rocking 800 GPM, expecting that to go up unless there's some...
Oh, it's going up.
It might just.
I would invest now. Give him an Aegis just in case they thought they could kill Weehaw. Don't want to hand over any big streaks, and GH is on the hunt here with his Blink Dagger and Invis Rune. He wants to see if anyone is split pushing.
And lo and behold,
yeah, Zai is TP, just came back. Now Yaps are out in the lane too. And oh.
We realize, I mean, if anybody shows for a second there, they can go on him, but it looks like GH not wanting to.
All right, we're making a kind of path here. Timbersaw will be pleased. And Zai, they're looking to set something up here. A two-hero play, bringing someone back into going for the big one, but now they see GH and say, abort, abort.
Now try strong, good catch, but the winner's curse is going to be enough. Yeah.
I mean, how are you ever going to get a good RP off versus that?
Well, maybe if it's down, they can take a fight around it. As Yapsor is going to get ran down here.
He's doing his best to try and throw some damage on him. Meanwhile, at your base, there is an Alchemist who is charging his stun and contemplating some plays here.
Oh, he's just going in, but going to get stunned underneath the tower. Maybe an opportunity is the Torrent.
I mean, Weehaw, if you're getting hit by the tower, I might as well drop my wards down. That makes a lot of sense. That's value plays from Captain Kuro.
He knows what to do. Captain Kuro, absolutely. Tier 3
he could have a cereal brand, I think.
Goes down, another round of stuns. Nisha trying to hold on to this high ground, if at all possible. But Liquid, the engagement, they don't need to do it. They can just back out now, take down these shrines, and cool, calm, and collected.
Yep, flowchart Dota.
Making it
happen out. They want the shrines. They already got the Aegis. They kind of did in reverse order, but that's fine. And Secret, all right, this is your TI hopes. This is your season hope. This is everything you've worked for the past 365 days. I can't remember when they got eliminated. But either way, it's a long time. It's every day. It's every night. It's what you think about as a TI player. And I'm sure they're feeling it in there right now. You know? What do we have to do? They know they're at a disadvantage, there's no doubt. It's not the kill score. It's not just the Alchemist. It's the unrelenting pressure of Liquid overflowing onto the Radiant side of the map.
And it's so hard to stop. Mid1 doing the best that he possibly can for his team right now, just trying to clear through these creep waves and keep them off of their towers. They have the split push coming from the Wraith King as well, having a nice little bit of pressure onto this bottom tier 2 tower, even empowering the skeletons wherever they can. As Nisha throws out the stun, they have the Chemical Rage, another round of it, trying to lay into this Alchemist as he hits onto their tier 3 tower. The pressure is coming bottom, and they're going to have to go back and deal with it. But that also means a lot of gold going into the coffers of Weehaw.
Yeah. And more skeletons. Yeah, I don't know about this one, guys.
It's so much gold.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but back on the other side of the map, maybe a chance for a fight.
I was a little surprised they didn't X him. He doesn't have bots, but it doesn't look like it's going to be punished here. If anything, Nisha's the one that's being targeted.
Now, Spirit Vessel using the X after the Torrent. Missing on the Tidebringer. These things happen. Don't worry, guys.
It's like you.
Get the hell out of here.
Obviously, Liquid not really looking to commit all too much there onto Nisha. Just toying with him, threatening, pushing him back into his base, and just saying, yeah, you know you're not supposed to be up here, right?
And the ultimate win of this style of Dota right now is the map control that you get, getting 4 more bounty runes for Team Liquid. And as we've talked about time and again, Team Secret with their furthest advance so far in the history of this tournament, but the ultimate raid boss being Liquid, who have knocked them out time and again. Looking like it could happen here again in game number 2 unless something changes.
And they have the Satanic now swapped in for Weehaw. So their big plan in order to try and kill this Alchemist is either like eliminate everyone else around him and then try and fight him, which, you know, that's obviously the harder one to do, or you try and burst him down all in one. So he's protecting himself from the RP with his Assassin's Resistance.
Be careful. Chase down coming. They've got a lot of control onto this guy. The boat is going to land afterwards, but he does have the walk away. Another round of X, another round of stun. 4-staff, keeping Mid1 alive. They won't be able to fully commit onto him. And actually instead, Mid1 getting a little bit fresh with Miracle there.
That is some very scary stuff now with the Solar Crest on Miracle too, though. He can put the hurt into Mid1. Zai continues his presence in that bottom lane, though. Gonna see if he can draw them back once more. It's only 10 seconds left on that Aegis. Secret, they did get a win here, right? They have held out against the Aegis. Sure, they lost the Shrine, but they didn't lose a full lane of racks. And maybe that can get them to that next round of items. As Zai keeps up that pressure on the bottom tier 3 with the creep wave.
Well played by Secret to hold on. A lot of other teams might have fallen apart.
The problem is they have the Kunkka. And one of the reasons Hero's so powerful is they can just X back, deal with the wave. And so if Zai ever blinks and TP's back, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to X back mind control here. So they'll get down an Ion Shell. But Zai sees that X and says, oh, you're not hanging around? Okay.
He can stay down on that side.
So Weehaw, the full TP back. So he's probably going to buy his bots. And yeah, he's going to look for the kill there on the Zai if he wants to show himself again. He's waiting.
But Zai, very wise to the fact that that could be coming, is going to back out now. He does have enough gold for Guardian Greaves if he wants to fully commit, but obviously at this stage in the game, you also have to be saving for buyback.
Yeah.
But that could be one of those big turning factors as well. A good chunk of this damage on Liquid comes from the physical.
Yeah.
Minus armor.
Nisha is getting a AC picked up here. He's going to lose his buyback.
Bottle up, bottle up, bottle up. Got to blink before the Radiant Stick.
Jeez.
Zai barely getting out of there.
Yeah, that was very close.
Caught sight of him for a moment. And meanwhile, up on the high grounds, looking for the chase. Liquid, they're thinking about it as they get the TP boots coming in from the out, looking for that X play as they already have one round of it. Force Staff a little bit late now. The jump forward, Weehaw finding and killing off Yapzor. Mid one. Protected for the moment by Nisha, but this is the problem, trying to run away from the X-Marks combination. Level 20, he's not going to end up running into any issues with knocking his ultimate off, but losing the ultimate at this stage is bad enough. Zai pulls back in one. This is a nice way to start this fight. They have to stop to follow it up as well. They don't want to jump onto mid one. Nisha able to get the walk away. Zai thought about it.
Trying to hold that buyback on Yap, so they don't want to burn it right now. They just say, we can trade 1 for 1, we'll take it. But that was a great jump by Weehaw, right? Although they're all jumping on a mid one, he sees that mid one's being helped out by someone, and he knows I can just blow over that back line instantly.
This is, you know, again, 13,000 lead, but maybe a wave, maybe a chance. They're initiating already. The pullback, a pretty nice combination there as they have the sleep as well. So at least onto one, but the vacuum wall, and now they've got some more heroes of their own. The chase forward, looking for it. Zai in trouble, does not have buyback. He fully committed in with the items. As Mind Control looking like he's in some trouble himself. They'd one popping the BKB, looking to chase, but isn't going to be able to find that Alchemist.
Now, will they try and turn without the BKB, or does Nisha have enough damage to threaten them out here?
I mean, they don't have Zai. They don't have a lot of their team fight items with that.
Oh,
and
that's
the Torrent. Oh, to interrupt. Makes it happen.
Jeez, that could have been dangerous with the Spirit Vessel still there for Miracle.
Yeah, really well played by Yapzor to able to make that turnaround happen. So Secret still hold. I think we've used a lot of David versus Goliath analogies in this one, but holding on to your high ground.
Yeah, I don't think that was supposed to be this matchup, but it has felt that way.
Starting to feel that way. Another round of X's. Secret done a good job of dodging away from it when it looks a little bit testy.
They're trying to burn this BKB.
Stun comes through. They have to stop afterwards. Wraith King had a lot of damage coming his way. They even dropped the wards. On the high ground, gonna pop the ultimate now. Weehaw looking to chase, follow forward with this stun. Do they have anything else to save it? It doesn't look like it right now. In some trouble, Nisha turns to fight, able to pop the BKB and go for the walk away. So Liquid, not able to break high grounds.
I think with the pressure on Liquid to go high ground, their BKB timers are actually more valuable than Secrets. So if I'm trading that out for the Wraith King, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Every time right now, because maybe we'll get a window where we can actually deal with this guy. It's down to 6 seconds now onto Weehaw.
And how much does the complexion of this game change if that BKB wears down to the 5-second mark? Like, does Secret have this in the later stages?
I mean, it's still big plays on big plays. Like, when's the last time we've even seen GH have to blink, right?
One needs to be careful. Yapzor able to steal something there. It's the acid spray. Lay it down the other direction. That's a lot of minus armor paired together with the bristleback. What can they do? They're in trouble and going to drop. Mid one dead, 80 seconds without buyback, and Nisha, the next one on the plate. He's 17 seconds away from having his BKB, but they're going to be there first. Liquid chasing forward, have themselves the stun. They control the Wraith King. He's going to come back in a second. 7 seconds until BKB, but it's looking like it might not be enough as they have the Hex there. The follow-up coming with the shackles afterwards. Don't even need it. They take down the Wraith King.
Oh, 50 seconds still with no bristle, and that means the Roche will be respawning. Liquid not gonna rush anything. They're TPing back top, pushing the wave. Secret went for the push mid because they knew that they were focusing on Denisha there, but Poppy might feed for it.
Yeah, he's just giving up his life at this point to try and take down the creeps, it feels like, but they will not be dissuaded.
He wants more. Doesn't quite get the vision there. He went for the health talent, so not gonna have any advantage at nighttime versus Zai. And Zai sees that and says, oh, that was close.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Time to run away. Wyvern even finishing off the Aeon disc, so there's no way that...
Kuro, he has wards. Yeah, they're forcing buybacks here.
Double buyback. Coming through. Bristleback still 14 away. Nisha throws the stun to start. Zai pulls him in a little bit closer. They have the telekinesis afterwards, trying to control, but the Torrent is there for the interrupt, and it looks like the first melee backs is going to go down. Team Liquid able to take it, and Weehaw still cool as a cucumber, just hanging out in that mid lane.
Yeah, very hard to deal with these wards when you only have one ranged hero, and the last thing YapzOr wants to do is reveal his positioning. So they will be more than happy to jump right on top of him with Weehaw. So back for an Aegis and a Cheese. Typically the game-ending Roche here. And when you have a 20k lead, Liquid have every opportunity to close this one out with it.
Yeah, this has just been such an uphill battle for Team Secret, even just trying to hold on to their structures.
They need some crazy Earth Splitter into RP here.
I mean, they're moving in. Already Wraith King getting the Hex out mid one there, but they've got the Aegis, and now Secret are fully committed.
They've got a ward.
They got to go in. This is Danger Town as they find Zai. Forstaff trying to keep him alive, if at all possible. Skewer to run, he's still alive there. They did kill off the Shadow Shaman, but the buyback comes, and Zai another round. Glimmer Cape keeping him alive. Can they make this work? They might be able to find a big RP, if at all possible. Looking for the opening. Zai making the play. It's a pretty good one with the Winter Wyvern ulti to interrupt. The Ghost Ship gonna land, stolen from YapzOr. Everybody from Secret playing their absolute hearts out, and they're able to make it happen. It's only on a Kuro, but now Miracle maybe going down as well. They pop the BKB from mid one, still looking for the chase. They take down Zai. He buys back. Buyback coming also from Mind Control. Weehaw under fire. Maybe the crowd feeling a little bit of a sign of life if they can make it happen, but Weehaw, he gets the cheese off, able to run away afterwards. The stun is gonna come out in just a moment. They find themselves this ET. The boat's gonna land. Now what more do you have left in the tank as the Bristleback is gone. Secret needing to run, needing to hide. Where else can they go though? As Zai still controlled, stomped. In a way, can they make it happen? The Skewer pull back onto the other side, but it just pulls him closer to Puppey. Nisha trying to stand tall in this fight. He still has his ultimate available as 21,000 net worth lead is going to continue to grow. They have Nisha under control as well. And just like that, Team Liquid looking to finish off this carry one more time. The Torrent is going to land. The Cold Embrace keeps them survivable. They have an X on to Zai. Liquid just running through Secret at this point as Zai tries to run, but get back here again. Mind Control continues to control. And that is going to be 4 dead and Liquid ready to run down a lane.
Secret did so much in that team fight. That's a fight that should not look nearly that close. 16,414 damage there from the Wraith King, but that's largely because he was just walking around trying to help burn them down. But GH is too good. I mean, he's waiting for that RP. He knows that that's their big way back into this one, and he won't let them have it.
You feel it, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to pull Miracle into the fountain, do whatever at all possible, but Miracle, he smells it. He wants to go on. He wants to play further in this tournament, and the Ancient is falling as Liquid again are going to knock Secret out of TI.
All right, well, OG, you take the high road, and I'll take the low road. Way down in the lower bracket for Team Liquid, but it looks just fine for them. Undefeated as they now 2-0 Team Secret. Again, they have eliminated them here in the lower bracket of the International.
And what an unbelievable series. Team Liquid, a great story for them, and obviously all the respect in the world for their competitors, Team Secret. Oh, the hug. You love to see it. Like I said, there's just so much respect and admiration between these two teams. And while it hurts to go out now, sure they wouldn't have wanted to any other way for Team Liquid as they exchange embraces.
So here we are. We're down to 3.
One more day.
That's it. One
Two
last
more
day
series.
of TI. We have Liquid. Coming back tomorrow, we'll have LGD, and of course, the returning champions, OG, are here to defend their Aegis.
Ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't have it any other way. An amazing top 4, top 3 right around the corner. Stay tuned. We'll head back to Shiver and the panel one last time for today.
Thank you, indeed. That's the third time in a row at an international where Liquid knocks out Team Secret. And you can see how much that means to them, the players. Look at those smiles. Kuro is normally a fairly stoic person, but that, it's pure happiness.
It is. They know it's only one good day away from being the TI champion now.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done it in the lower bracket before. Perhaps they can do it again, and we know what No-Tail said. He wants to face Liquid. He might just get the chance. Before we are going to talk about what this means for the tournament and for the players, we're going to hand it to the draft panel, who once again would like to break down this game.
Hey guys, one of the benefits of the Magnus is that it allows you to accelerate your course farm. So we wanted to compare the Wraith King as well as the